Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
You recording, Gordon?
Recording, Gordon.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Freedom 35ers, Cardano NFT podcast, episode 19. Technically episode 20 for all the 8-1s since day one. My name is Tommy. I go by TOMMY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight, the other Tom. Oh, just Tom down there. The Tom's rebranding. No, Tom's rebranding over there on us, dude. I don't know if anybody's checked his Twitter, dude. He's got a new header. It just says the other Tom. I think we've got a name change coming up here soon.
It kind of came in natural. It just made sense. I've said it so much now. It just like made sense.
It's always the other Tom. People are like, who the hell is Lavish Bear?
Yeah, the other Tom.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Triple T's, dude. You got T, T, and T.
I just can't believe we're on 20 episodes right now. That's crazy.
Right,
dude, right? Technically, our OGs, episode 20, our test episode. Test episode? Is that how you say
test episode?
Test episode?
Test episodes. No, that's our episode 0, dude. So technically, that's why nobody ever is this long running joke that we have for the OGs out there. We do have an episode 0 out there. So technically, this is episode 20, but we're actually on episode 19, if we want to call it official, I guess, for how we're introducing these things. But yeah, dude. So tonight, a lot going on, a lot of updates from last week that we had. A lot of mints that happened this past weekend, dude. I was flipping a bunch of different things to go ahead and get more aid on my wall because it seemed like there was a lot of mints that came in, and one specifically, obviously, that Cornucopias mint snuck up out of nowhere last minute on Friday last week. But yeah, dude. I don't know about you guys. My ADA wallet definitely was feeling it a little bit this past weekend.
Mine's hurting.
Struggling.
It's struggling hard. I'm trying to sell stuff right now.
I know.
We're in a rebuilding phase in my wallet. Yeah. After this weekend, buying everything up. And
what Kevin Hart says? I got to move stuff from the checking to the savings and back to the savings checking. That's how
the thing is. Yeah. I know, dude. The good thing was this past week we had a lot of different things that happened, and one thing that was a lot of fun last week was we got a chance to sit down with CardanoPapi. CardanoPapi was our last one, I like to call him, but I had to shout that out for him. He was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, that was I really liked that one.
That was a great episode.
The energy on him was super. Like he fit in very well with us, I have to say.
Oh yeah, no, it was perfect. I was excited when you told us that he was gonna, you had kind of talked to him about coming on the show. I was like, this will work out great. First time I ever seen him too. I never actually because I don't have TikTok, so I never actually checked out the TikTok videos. So that was kind of different seeing him as opposed to hearing him on the Taco Tuesdays.
Oh, it was dope because like you said, he's been part of the CNFT Taco Tuesday crowd, and we've got a chance to talk with him a bunch. But we finally get him on the show. It was dope to see him outside of like I don't even know what is it, like a 10-second format or like 20-30 seconds on TikTok these days. I don't know. It's like the upgraded Vine. But he's CNFT's first TikToker, probably. I like that little preface that he had for us last week.
I just appreciated too the deep dive with Future Fest. It made me like it even more. I really need to get a few of those now.
Well, it was dope too because I think that was one of the first times. Besides, he gave us a very good educational breakdown of the Benjamin's Club because obviously Future Fest was involved with the Benjamin's Club, Benjamin's group, and being a launch underneath them with Cycler. But it was dope to hear about that side of it. He had very good information. And then on top of that, the Future Fest, we dived into that for quite a while. And it's cool that they've already got a working platform already. And you're going to be able to take those future bots and be interactive with live concerts. And I know they got some exciting announcements that are about to be upcoming here soon this next week. So appreciated him jumping on and just getting a chat about that. He fit in really well.
Oh yeah, and I'm already ready. Episode 2. We've been lucky so far. I mean, with him, with Jay Crypto, they've been inside on other end of the projects. He had Future Fest and the Benjamin's group inside knowledge, and then Jay Crypto's inside with PAVIA and partnership and working with them. So it's just cool seeing their insight and getting that other end of it. I mean, part of his episode almost felt like a mini sit down within our episode. We're calling it because we kind of got to talk to. Yeah, it's not just he knew about it; he's actually involved on the inside team as far as with Future Fest.
Well, he was fun, and one thing I appreciated him too is he's very more interactive too. He actually was asking questions, outside of just feeling hey,
threw some curveballs, right? Yeah.
He the first one, he's like, "Why Lavish Bear?" Before literally the first thing he said to me was all right, I'm gonna get into that, but first, just Kanye'd it right away. It was good. I had a good time talking with him, and then we had a great debate for the PB&J over there, which is like part of our poll now in a Discord. Creamy or crunchy, dude? Just let us know down in the comments where you're at on your peanut butter. I'm definitely team creamy.
Me too. Creamy.
That sounds terrible. I'm team creamy. Don't quote that.
Creamy teamy.
Creamy teamy.
Stop.
The
crunchy bunch for Tom.
Yeah, there we go.
Crunchy bunch.
I like
the
that,
crunchy
actually.
bunch.
The crunchy bunch. Yeah.
The crunchy bunch.
That's not
Bunch
bad.
of crunch.
There you go. But yeah, shout out to CardanoPapi, Future Fest team, and even Benjamin's group for all the knowledge he dropped out there. And then you can always catch outside of TikTok, dude. You search CNFT, you're gonna find CardanoPapi out there. He's killing the TikTok game right now. He's got a monopoly on that thing over there. But shout out to him for jumping on there. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a good episode. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
And then
I can't believe how much has happened. I can't believe it was only like a week ago. It feels like it's so much longer just because so much has happened in between then.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of like the other sit downs and things that we got a chance to do this past week, was one of our favorites, and this was an OG back in the space for us, and probably a bucket list interview, which we talked about as well, was Wraith. He's not CNFT right now. It's Wraith CNFT right here. I didn't even notice that. It's Wraith NFT now. He dropped the C, which I actually
interesting.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
We got to talk to Haptics, the founder of Wraith NFT. I'm going to start changing that now. I'm so like used to saying CNFT. So that's funny. We got a chance to do that. But yeah, dude, we got a chance to sit with him this past Monday. And it was like a homecoming too for us. It was like talking to somebody we've known for so long. It's just we hadn't actually got a chance to like chat like verbally with him. And it was his first live interview, which was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It was the first time like kind of getting out there and talking, which seemed kind of cool. But I mean, like you said, Tom, as far as bucket list goes, we've just been interacting with him so long since the beginning, because you turned us on to Race when we first started. Is one of the first projects you showed us because you had him so long ago. That we had that list going of like when we were making ideas and kind of getting our show together of like, oh, who's some people we could sit down with that are like actually reasonable because we've interacted with before. And Wraith was the first name we put on there. So definitely, it's number one on the bucket list as far as, we had other people down there. Of course, we had like Yummi on there, but that was in like our, hey, like we've never even talked to them before. Hopefully one day we'll get there, kind of like to look our way kind of thing. But Wraith was been there since the beginning. You've always been kind of chatting and hanging out with them or him.
He was like he's always been a good dude. He's been super humble. Like we said, like if you
super
get a chance,
generous too.
Yeah, he's always giving back. And that's one thing I wanted to highlight that you're seeing here on the screen right now, this Art for Good, which we talked about in the interview as well, as something, he lives over in Norway right now. So, everything going on in Ukraine out there, he went ahead and put out a piece of artwork called Art for Good, which donates back to children's charity called where was it right here? Voices for Children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And basically it supports kids going through like psychological support impacted by like the war basically right now. Like, right. So all that stuff is 10 ADA. You got a chance to mint one of these things, and all the proceeds for that went directly to that organization. So
I think he said he's going to match it too. Like, he's going to match for, an ADA.
Yep. So a big shout out to him for that. I was like, again, always giving back. And we talked about like a community mom thing with him, like making a Wraith for my mom. Like, he's given random things throughout the community. He's always helped us out. People inside who's always supported him. He's got a very dedicated fan base. So we got a chance to sit down with him, talk and chat. And, the Wraith, we basically went through the entire evolution of that project from start to like inception to where he's at now, which you're starting to see these type of race right here for the remastered stuff. But one of the things like I wanted to highlight real quick over here was the quiet time. If you've seen this or if you've started to see this, there's only 25 followers over there. So everybody who's watching right now, make sure to go give Quiet Time a follow. This is the next iteration inside of the Wraith CNFT like universe. And it's going to be these NFTs called Quiet Time, which I love the look of these things, man.
I like it.
They're a completely different style away from the Ghost, right? They are the actual I guess he was explaining it, right, Tom, like or what it was as far as like what race were like as far as like your consciousness and like where do you go after you die, kind of like then exploring that philosophy.
He had a lot more into it than I ever realized. It was kind of blowing my mind, like how much, especially, and then some of the Easter eggs were just cool. But yeah, the whole like foundation, at least what he's been inspired by, has been crazy for some of the race that he's made, and then this is just taking it even further.
Well, it's crazy, right? Like you had a consciousness and a thing prior to all this. So these are like more of the body type forms prior to the ghost over there. So he's getting ready to. These are going to drop inside of Q2 of this year. He has one drop that is happening before this called the Veil. I was calling it the veal all yesterday. He roasted me at the end. He's like, bro, you've been calling it the veal. You've been calling it the veal the entire time, and it's the veil. So, a shout out to him for that, because the veil is going to be the upcoming drop. That's going to be a 1-to-1 token into this universe with different race that are going to have different personality type and bloodlines that are going to be able to, I guess, tie into sort of these characters at quiet time later down the line. So he has some cool stuff in the works. But I just wanted to shout out this artwork. It's a way different look from the ghost that he originally had, and this definitely sparked some people's attention. I think he got a pretty decent amount of likes even on that first post for this, which if you looked, he had 55 likes on this. So it's a different take from where he's at. But he said, I remember him talking about it. He's like, this is the art style that if I had a chance to ever go back and redraw stuff, this is what I wanted to kind of put out.
If he stopped doing race, he said, if he if he like beyond NFTs and just continued to draw as a hobby and what he like this is where, his preferences, at least it sounded like.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan. I like the hard lines and stuff like that. They're really crazy. I'm nervous now. Now he drops CNFT. I mean, don't be running off to Solana on us or something like that. Or Ethereum or dropping, Wraith blockchain.
It's branding over there, right? I mean, we have to go ahead.
Great, though.
I was going to say too, because Tom, we went ahead and, you dropped an intro video, which you've been getting really good at these things. And I always have to shout them out while we're sitting on a thing or onside the podcast. But if you take a look at this one right here, this is Tom's new editing over here for this race intro. Good. And he brought it back to the pixelated ghost out here with like the Haunted Mansion. But you see the Ada moon up there, which we always have in our things as well. So it's always fun to go ahead and watch that, like how you evolve even yourself as like drawing these things in. It's like right now I'm like, dude, we need to make, Tom over here. What are you drawing, man? You need to start once you learn how to draw, you got to final key components of all this stuff.
The pixel stuff I like looking into. It's a lot of fun to work with. I think the pixels have some, a lot of more possibilities. I know it's been done a lot, but I like the pixel art quite a bit. I mean, we've seen so many good ones too. Yeah, but especially seeing what he does, like the remaster, because those are all remasters. Like I just took the ghost from the remastered and cropped them out or whatever. But just how like easy that was to work with then. Like that red one that walks by in the beginning is my favorite one, just because they look so good. Like the eyes are all moving and stuff. That's all in there already. So seeing how much detail and like creativity you can get when it's still just kind of like pixel art is kind of get you inspired. Like I want to start messing around with that.
Oh, that's cool. You didn't have to do much of that red one then. It just already
all of them. Even the Jason mask one, that one in the back, they're all the remastered ones. All I did was make them slide across the screen. So like that one right there, walking the Jason mask one, that whole flicker and everything, that's just because it's the remastered ghost already, like moving.
That's cool. I did not realize that, but that's actually really dope. And you've been getting really good at this stuff, man, and it's cool to see it kind of come alive over here. But Wraith, obviously, that was something that drew us to him even in the beginning, right? Those ghosts, it's just they were so simple yet so detailed. So seeing those things kind of come alive out there, I think this is kind of where he wants his like universe to kind of go with like this like a bigger type of like map style thing where these wraiths are going to be like floating around one day and other things like that he hasn't fully fleshed out, but he's working on getting all that stuff, and he hasn't really put anything out about that. But that's kind of like where he was kind of alluding where he wanted to see this go. So it was kind of cool to see your interpretation of it, kind of bringing it to life ahead of time right now before he actually releases the official stuff on this kind of stuff. So it was just interesting to see a cool take and bring these race alive. But I just had to shout it out, man, because this thing looks sick.
We've been enjoying doing it. Yeah, I mean, it's we talk, especially talking to guys like David from Yummi and Haptics over with Wraith, like their projects are so good. When we actually have the time, and this is what we hope to bring to the show as much as we can. It's nice when we get the time to actually kind of put the effort in like this, as opposed to just tossing something together and having a clip out there. It's nice when we can actually jazz it up a little bit and make it entertaining, because it's fun too. It's it's nice to get creative and work on these.
Yeah, well,
I like sending them to you guys, and you guys kind of piece them together as we go too. Like you throw in, I get the base ideas sometimes, then you guys just toss me like other random stuff to toss in. Yeah, kind of spice it up a little bit.
Yeah,
it's worked out really well so far.
The only thing I will say on this is that you didn't add my little guy in the window that was very
I couldn't
big
fit
back
him
there.
in. I tried to do it.
He's there. You can't see him.
You can't. Yeah, he's actually there. The window's so tiny. I was trying to blow that up, make it bigger. Just I couldn't figure it out to make it work. And I was like, it would have been perfect. Like I want to do a silhouette in the window, like with the lightning when the lightning struck.
Yeah,
so you just see like a silhouette. I couldn't really quite figure that one out.
I just want like a random Gengar walk in the background.
I was thinking about throwing a Gengar in there too. I didn't know how that worked.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if he's in the Wraith universe, right? Yeah. Pokemon was hitting us hard with copyright strikes.
So like just another example, like so our buddy Muntz that has NFTs, but he really got in just because he saw like the potential to flip and make money. Like he does a lot of those kind of things. He's always hustling and making like, little side money and stuff like that. And he also has, just the time he can't spend as far as going in and sitting on Twitter and Discords all day because of life stuff. So he only he really gets into projects when he hears us kind of hyping him up or hears about him himself on Twitter, because he's on so little, it has to be pretty big if he actually catches wind of it to make some money. But Wraith, when I told him and sent him this, I was like, we actually got to sit down with Wraith. This is the first one he's been like, that guy's awesome. I love Wraith. Like he's been there since the beginning too. I mean, like he said, he was in when I think that was the one time he was so excited. Yeah, he was so excited for the drop that we got the fake address put in there, and he sent the 15 or 35 ADA the wrong one, and Wraith made sure everyone was taken care of there, got everyone their ADA back, like out of his own pocket too to get it back from that scammer. But Big
Months is like, I made a mistake.
No. He still sent in and got a real Wraith though too. Like that's how much you wanted. Even after doing that, he still made sure he got his real one. And but that was the first one. He's just like, Wraith, that's awesome. That guy's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, big shout out to obviously to Haptics over there and what he's doing. It was super cool to talk to him, dude. He's such a chill dude. It was awesome to get to talk to him as the first interview too, because we been talking about this for so long. So the fact that we actually got a chance to chat with him was like, again, one of those bucket list things. So again, we had to kind of do it all out. So Tom, obviously, as he gets better, this is the kind of quality like content. Like obviously, I know we're trying to deliver, but I mean, I think you killed it on this one. I love the look of this.
Yeah, hopefully, just keep getting better, get more sit downs too. Just keep them coming.
Grinding, dude. Well, quiet time too. Check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Make sure.
Yeah, if you like Wraith, just check those out because I've definitely got my eye on them. I'm really big fan.
I know. I can't wait for that drop.
Don't get too many people on them though. We gotta keep our mid chances better, right?
That's the TJ mentality. Don't tell anybody what the real date.
I know. Well, speaking of like these characters getting drawn, bro, I think I just had to go ahead and shout this out this past week, dude. I finally made it. I made it over here, boys. TJ was the first one over here out of the group, but dude, Joseph Miranda, Digital Lowlifes.
Do some glasses on,
bro. Right? You can always get so creative with these things. But I finally won my raffle over here. It took me, I think, about 5-6 weeks.
I was gonna say like 4 or 5 tries. Yeah, I know you've been every week, just like
come on. TJ comes in literally right after we dropped this video. So I'm like, hey guys, right? I was like right after New Year's or something like that. I'm like, hey, I just heard Art of Joseph. This guy's dope, man. He's in Real Talk. He draws your profile pic into his collection. This collection called Digital Lowlifes. You just got to own this We the People NFT that he's done prior. You can verify in a chat, and then as long as you have that, you enter the raffle, and he's gonna draw you in. Sick. Sounds pretty good. TJ, okay, yeah, sounds good. A week later, he buys one of the We the People.
First one. Fucking one. Just like, hey, I think you sound like, hey, check it out. Let's go, guys. And it's just like, no.
And it's like TJ won, and I'm just sitting there after like 2 weeks, just like, dude. Like, all right,
dude, you're getting so pissed every time you lose. You get so fucking mad by someone else who won.
But you went ahead. You had an awesome profile pic. I'll showcase that here in a sec. But you got yours. So finally, after weeks and weeks of doing this, they actually switched it around in the Discord. Before, you didn't have to actually verify. Now you can actually verify with the bot in there to see the giveaway channel. So they stopped a lot of people just entering in. So that was cool. But yeah, he went ahead and finally got drawn into this, and I threw him the little like hat sideways pic. I was just hoping that I'd get something rare. And we talked about in the podcast before, where it was like you should just send him a pic with like the craziest like shit on, so you have like the cooler attributes.
The propeller hat. I don't know about crazy.
Tom, if you do that,
I'd be going like ridiculous. Yeah, propeller hat.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I had to shout
clown
out.
Nose.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you should do that for sure.
Yeah,
that would be perfect.
That would be great.
He was like, "Sir, you can't put that picture." It's like, "What, dude? That's the way my nose looks."
Like like the fake disguise with like the mustache,
with the mustache, big nose, glasses. Yeah.
This is my actual face right here. No, dude. So shout out to Art of Joseph, or Joseph Miranda. Sorry. For this stuff right here, dude. He looks amazing. The artwork that he's done. He draws so many of these things. I think there's 2,000 total people that he's drawn in with 5 different attributes that are going to be attributed to these, that they're getting that 10,000 collection.
I can't wait for this drop.
Well, the crazy thing is that even though I have this picture, it's great. I can rock it right here, but I don't own this NFT. This is not an NFT. It's just a picture. And I will have to actually buy into the drop itself to get, and hopefully get myself. And I can imagine most people inside the Discord are going to probably start trying to trade each other for their own pictures.
I'm holding yours hostage.
Dude, I'll hold yours hostage, man. Tom's gonna mint both and just be like, no, guys, these are mine.
Yeah,
he's gonna get the 1 of 1, like the plain one, like the original.
It's 5 of each, right? There's just 5.
Yeah, there's 5 different variations with different attributes. So my little Nelly Band-Aid might switch over to something else. Who knows what that'll be? Maybe it's like a scar or something or cut.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So there'll be 5 different variations of my picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll be win first round. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I just buy it.
You might have said it. I forgot. That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that. That's even cooler.
Well, shout out to Joseph Miranda over here. He's been killing these drawings. I feel so
honored. It's a cool thing. I like seeing them. Yeah, it's such a cool.
He did such a good job too, man. Like he literally killed that. And obviously now it's a great profile pick. Like, can rock it in almost everything. Which kind of brought us over to the next thing right here, because there's a big thing happening inside the community. I just went ahead, if I changed the profile pic, if you see in the background, you got the cardinal berry from the first NFTs minted on the Cardano blockchain, the berries. There's 100 of these things, and this past week on March 1st marked the 1-year anniversary of their of that
happy
mint.
Birthday,
Happy birthday to the berries. Congrats to fucking Barry Ailes over Alessandro, creator of Nami Wallet. Dude's a freaking genius out there, man. He's been killing it. Space Buds, yeah. Literally, that guy has just been crushing it. An innovator, a pioneer in the space. And it was, again, like you said, the anniversary, the birthday for this the Rats DAO went ahead and actually did a birthday tribute to them. So anybody who are in the Rats DAO, you're able to, they minted this piece right here, and some people have it's spinning around. It's basically a 3D model of this cardinal berry. Yeah, it's 25 ADA. And all the holders were 1-to-1 in there, just per wallet. So these got a chance to mint and like kind of like just celebrate this. And they went ahead and went with this hashtag, the thank you Barry. And if you start scrolling through all this, dude, there's so many of these things, like these hashtags throughout Twitter today. It was really cool to see.
Thank you very much.
That would have been good.
Damn, bro, you should have petitioned to the Rats, dude.
That's pretty punny,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Look at that, we got punny. Thank you. Thank you very much, dude. So Rats DAO, even they did 1 gold one too, and then they gifted this over to Alessandro today. So it was the 1 of 1 for this. So that was pretty cool. And you saw everybody in the community, even Clay's right here, like
that's awesome.
Birthday tribute to them right there.
I like that a lot.
It was cool to see the community
that clay here. Paper background looks good.
Yeah, I like that a lot. After messing with it, I'm a big fan of the clay style now. I really like that.
Yeah, clays are always doing a great job. It was cool to see everybody inside the community go ahead and actually just like celebrate this, and all kind of just rally around this whole thing, because without Space Buds, they're the first mover inside that 10K space. They're obviously like the you want to call it a blue chip project over here, the crypto punks of Cardano in a sense. And then the fact that he developed the Nami wallet too, the creator for that, man. That Nami wallet is basically our MetaMask right now. Dude's a genius. Shout out to him. Everybody's celebrating inside the community. Just had to shout that out. And congrats to Rats DAO, to the artist on this. This looks amazing. I think these will be a good like trophy like thing down the line. That way it'll look back after the first year, like a year from now, and be like, damn, remember those? Those are cool.
Hopefully, like 5 years from now, you guys are looking at your hard forks and your berries and just like, remember this? Yeah. I remember. Remember berries?
I remember. Oh god, that's a perfect thing for the berries to do.
On. Yeah, come on, berries.
There you go. That's the thing right there. Well, yeah.
We saw you throw that in your profile picture though. Me and TJ got on. We got a little early on last night, waiting for you to get on. And TJ was just like, "Wait, this is Tommy? Like, what is this profile picture he's got here? Why does he have a berry? Did Tommy like win a berry? What the fuck's going on?"
Right, that'd be
we're so confused. That's why we were just like, "Wait, no, what's happening right now?" And then TJ, you're able to figure it out because you're in the Rats. So you're like, "Oh, I can do this. Sweet."
Yeah. It was 2025 ADA too. It was a dope little mint for those guys with the thank you Barry. Everybody kind of did it inside the, like you said, we showed off the clays right here. And then even we were scrolling down here, Fudbuddies, they even changed their profile pic to the Barry.
I like that.
So shout out to everybody who's doing the Barry tribute today. So yeah, again, happy birthday to Barry, man. That's 1 year, our first Cardano NFTs.
Now we have a special thing. Tommy's going to sing happy birthday to Barry. Take it away, Tommy.
Happy birthday. After the bro broar thing last week, dude. Like,
oh, that was so good. He retweeted it too.
I know. Katy Perry's. No, man. But Fudbuddies right here. Speaking of them, their mint went ahead and actually dropped this past weekend as well. That was another one that came through.
Missed it.
Miss Fudbuddies? Oh yeah, you're right. That was on a Sunday, man. It was like midday.
At the fair.
2:00, I think it was, over on our time, over in East Coast. Fudbuddies dropped, and these, dude, there's a little bit of FUD going on throughout the mint. Like, everybody was freaking out a little bit just because it, like, I didn't know if this was going to sell out like right away, if it was going to get, just take a sec, but they did limit it to 1 transaction per wallet. It was unlimited. You could get as many as you wanted to, but your transactions had to go through. And they had over 20,000 transactions with over 700,000 ADA and refunds over there. So, and it took me, I think, probably like 6-7 hours to go ahead and actually get my Fudbuddy. I sent 3 transactions in. Daedalus is the only one that made it through after like 11 minutes for me. CC Vault broke. And basically I only got one of these Fudbuds.
Wow, they saw that much demand? I didn't realize it was that high. That's amazing.
I like the one transaction, or the 1 mint per transaction. I like that. I mean, I like that for a lot of projects. I like the wallet distribution like that. I think it's good.
Yeah, it was good because, like, everybody, if you at least had some sort of a fast transaction over there, you're probably guaranteed to at least get one of those. But they obviously did like the Fudbuddy takeover. Like, they had some 101s. Like, I didn't see this today. It's sold for 2,000 ADA. This is one of those 101s, or they're all 101s, but like those rare ultra 101s right there. So that was dope to see these things starting to come through. Because people were getting pissed a little bit. They're like, "Where's my NFT?" These, because the mint blocks, I guess, the way that I guess they wanted to go ahead and be one of the last first come first serve kind of drops. That was something that they had mentioned, like, just drop the address and first come first serve. Well, when they said that, like, a lot of people were realizing that other blocks that minted, like, minutes and minutes after some of the first people who actually got in were getting their NFTs prior to the people who had sent in earlier. So people were freaking out. They were fudding, and it's like, no, this drop's rigged, like all this stuff. And because it did take like 7 hours to go ahead and actually get the thing through, and the blockchain was congested. It got us to like 97% once this drop happened. And I was one of the ones who got in. I feel like I got in a little earlier. Like, I was 11 minutes in. I was probably like, upper tier. Not obviously, some of their people are like 2-3 minutes in there, 50 seconds, like some crazy stuff. But I was one of the last people to get it. There was like 6,000 minted, and there was 6,000, I think 666 of these things. I was one of the last ones to mint. So it was kind of crazy to see that drop. So definitely a little FUD surrounding it, but
I know what that's like, though. Wait until the end. Like, we were just like looking at like the last on the block to see if you made it. And that's how it was for me when I got my Yummi and my Scoopy. Yeah. I was within like 30 of the last ones for my Scoopy. And it was just like, am I there? Oh, God, we're getting close.
At that point, you just accept defeat. You're like, all right, I guess I'm getting a refund, whatever.
Well, you have to do it that way, because then if you get it, you're excited. It's like, oh, wow,
exactly.
Cool.
This sucks,
like,
bro.
I was already ready for this. Like, I already didn't get it 2 hours ago. I knew that.
Yep.
Well, that's how I kind of was. I figured Daedalus was going to make it through, but the other two were like way off. It was like 25 minutes, 37 minutes. So it was just like, I knew I was out after that. So I was just happy to get the one. I got a floor, ranked one, but it was fine. Like, I was just happy to get one. Some of these people, like this guy right here, you got this one again, this alien looking one right here. Another one of the ultra 101s, which I look absolutely sick right here. I love the way those look.
I love the Fedora ones. I saw one earlier and I was going to buy it, and then I came home, someone bought it and then relisted it for like 4 times the amount. I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have bought it earlier.
Fedoras, dude. See, I there's so many different ones over here, and all these styles look really, really cool. I'm just a big fan of what they were doing, like little artwork. I remember there's ones with like little dog heads. I don't know if you saw those ones too.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of these guys with the flashlight
guy.
Yeah, so there was some cool stuff, and the body, it was just like different, and so I was a big fan of this stuff, what they did. So shout out to these guys.
There's a Fedora right there.
There you go. Look, he's got the little trapdoor. Got people like the windows coming out of his body. It looks dope. And they done okay. They were originally dropping real quick back down to the floor, because I think they minted for, was it 52 ADA?
Mm-hmm.
And they were hovering right around floor yesterday, and then they shot up to like 85 today, which we're recording early this week on a Tuesday, because like TJ's got some important stuff to do or something on our normal recording night. So we're recording a little early this week, but even as of Tuesday right now, their floor's sitting at 67 ADA currently right now. And I know there's been some big sales and some volume picking up too. So still some good deals out there.
67 too, though.
Well, it's dope too, because you can pick up some good stuff right now and not too expensive. Because I can imagine down the line, The artwork and the team built is all Cardano, like big CNFT names inside of there. So I don't know. I was a fan of the drop. You know, I may pick up a couple more in the secondary. We'll see what happens. But
I'm gonna snag on the secondary for sure.
Yeah. So shout out to Fudbuddies. It was a cool drop right there. It was one of the ones that took up all the 8 out of my wallet. So
I like that one you're showing right there a lot with the polka dot hat and all the cats in the background.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that one.
Oh, that's Mr. Chow just sitting in the back right there.
No, I like that.
Yeah. So moving on to another one, which we didn't get a chance to cover inside of our podcast because it became like a sneak announcement to literally like the Thursday before the podcast dropped, was Cornucopias. They're Bubblejets. We've been talking about these for a while. You know, Cornucopias game, they're a metaverse project building a game. It was very fleshed out, and it was their first NFT sale. This originally got leaked back in, or not leaked. It originally got delayed back in the day. I'm reading Kobe leaks. That's why I said that. It basically got delayed because of they were concerned about their minting process. And the minting process they wanted to do was to connect your NAMI wallet to the website to be able to do a multi-sig transaction where you just paid your ADA and you got back your NFT all in one transaction. And then they realized they were going to run into some problems with that. So they actually contacted the DripDropz team to go ahead and help them out. And then finally, this past week, we got ahead and actually realized that they were going to be able to drop this. So they dropped, was it 11,100 maybe? I think of these things.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, 11-1.
I thought it was 1-1-1-1-1, like just all ones straight across. Yeah,
it could have been.
I think it was another one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
another one. DJ Kyle.
No, I could have swore that haven't we had this on there for a little bit now, Tommy, where we were like going to talk about it last night or last week, and then it got delayed again, so we just weren't able to give like the update we wanted to, and then all of a sudden it's just out of nowhere. There it is.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about it was there was different rarities. You had the common rare, like it reminded me like the RPG loot system, right? Like the commons were like the white, uncommons were green, rares were blue, legendaries at purple, and then the mythics were like the yellow. Of course, I was able to mint 3. I was able to actually log into the website. The UI system for the one that DripDropz actually created for them, and it worked the same way for the Drapes drop as well, was basically you logged into your NAMI, you signed your transaction to get your wallet like into the website already, and then from there you could click enter queue, and you could enter into the queue, and it should just give you a queue number, right, of where you're sitting at. Well, it was fine. I was able to do it. It took me like 2 tries. It gave me like an error message, and then I clicked enter queue, and I got into the queue. And I was like 2,200 in the queue, and I was like, okay, cool. Even if everybody, you could mint up to 3 per transaction. So I was like, even if I did the math, I'm still going to be okay. So I'm just chilling. And the way that Drapes had worked was, even if say you refresh the page or something like that, it was to your state key of your wallet, so it remembered where you were in queue, even if you refresh the screen. So I was cool. I was like, you know what, I'm all right. I'm just waiting. There's a lot of drop. It's getting a little bit of high traffic, but I'm okay. And then I was seeing reports of people like, hey, don't refresh your page because I just got booted out of queue. And then like others were like, refresh your page because it'll update your queue spot. And I was like, fuck, I remember the Drapes drop. I'm just going to hit refresh. I hit it. And all of a sudden I got booted back to like 9,900. And I was like, motherfucker, dude. I was like, no, I was so pissed.
And you texted us that you're like, I just went from 2,000 to 9,000. Like I'm not getting one. I just fucked up.
Yeah. And I was like, no, dude, it was the worst feeling for all that stuff. And then I started seeing all the different chats, and then they started announcing like, no guys, you're okay. Just refresh a few times. You're going to have to get through like the error messages, because there were so many, like just so much traffic to the site at that time. They're like, your spot's safe. Your spot's safe. So everybody's like, no, it's not safe. No, it's not safe. And so there was so much like going on right now. Like there was a lot of people just hating and not understanding what was going on. It definitely wasn't the most user like friendly at that time, because everybody was getting frustrated, but it was just because it was the first time this was being done. And it actually did end up saving the queue number. I think after like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, something like that, 30, 40 minutes, I was able to refresh again, finally, after just messing around with it. And my queue number got all of a sudden updated to like 1,800. I'm like, wait. And then they started throttling everybody in like at like 400 or 500. So I just about watched it go down. It took about 20 minutes to get through, and I was able to actually get to the mint screen. Minted 3 of them.
I think as far as like minting goes, it sounds like it was a good
the mint itself was
as far as like a stress test as far as the amount of people all at once trying to mint that. I think it did pretty well. I know I had like a hiccup for you, but ended up working out. So I think that was a good test for future mints of that style of minting.
Right. Yeah. Because this is like the first time, like a lot of these, because like, you know, especially dirt birds, they've always been on the front end of like trying new things. So this is, you know, we're essentially kind of beta testing this for hopefully when this takes off, and this will just be the standard in 2 years and things like that. And it'll run much smoother. Hopefully you won't have those errors, or if you do refresh, it won't give you those panic attacks. So just keep your place in queue and good to go. But they got to do this to test it, and they can't really test full load until they do an actual mint. Like it's impossible kind of to recreate the amount of traffic that they get when they actually do these mints. So
well, you know, it was really cool to see too, because like DripDropz, obviously these guys have been, we keep pushing the tech that they have. They're basically becoming their own like minting advisors and like creating their own minting service now, because so many people are utilizing the technology that they have. Because they did multi-sig transactions back last year. When before that ever became a thing. So they gave you some cool stats because they kind of broke it down after everything had happened. And it was like, no, everything was working right. This is just, there was just so much overload that it was giving like error messages that we've already fixed now that they went back. But I guess there was so out of 11,900 thing, there was 11,732 wallets that actually got connected to the site. And there was 4,500 transactions that made up the total amount. And I guess 42 minutes was the average delivery time. And out of these 4,500 transactions, only 86 of them failed.
That's amazing, honestly.
Which was pretty crazy to see. And the API calls, 7.2 million API calls requests made to the system during that 3.5 hour drop. So they definitely did get stress tested hard. But it was cool to see the data from DripDropz, because they kind of did like a long thread. And they went ahead and kind of broke everything down. But it was good to know because they learned a lot from the mint itself. And basically because they had worked with Ugly Bros as well for their recent one. And they've been basically helping everybody out. But as you could kind of see, they were breaking down just everything throughout the whole process of like, you know, as different time frames were going, you could kind of see when everything, they turned stuff on, turned it back on. But it was just cool to, you know, get the actual like hard data, because these guys then were able to take that and now already like squash out all these bugs.
But I just like the transparency of it, because now we know like exactly what happened, how many users did it, you know, they're not like hiding anything or making excuses. I like that they gave us those stats.
Oh yeah, well it was cool too, because like basically it was like your wallet equals your queue position, which we talked about, and it says no matter what you did, your wallet would keep the right queue position. He goes, the huge initial wave of API calls, which are 7.2 million, like we talked about, when a drop started, caused some systems to scale improperly, which led to some calls to fail. So when users refreshed the page, API had a bug that displayed the wrong queue position. After 5 seconds, the queue position would get updated again automatically and would have shown the correct position. This issue's been fixed. So at the end of the day, nobody actually lost their queue position out there. It was actually being saved at that time. But there were a few issues in which I guess people got this error message, and it also gave you this. I don't know if you got this, TJ, or no? Were you on this too?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, TJ's muted himself over here.
Sorry, I didn't mint that one.
Oh yeah. So Tom, you didn't try to get on this one either, right? It was just,
I missed the DripDropz.
Yeah. On DripDropz, this is
Cornucopias. I'm sorry, I'm reading DripDropz. Yeah, no, I missed Cornucopia. I wasn't home to do all that when I was. I just didn't have all that. You know, can't do that from my phone. So.
Well, this is like one of the good error messages you would see. So like they gave like this balance. It would tell you whatever your balance was in your thing, and you'll require to have like whatever ADA in order to mint it, and then you would get this error transaction failed. So it would just basically like spam enter queue, spam sign enter queue, spam sign enter queue, and you would get this, and eventually once you get past this, it would tell you your queue number. So they went ahead and there was, I guess, fix this up as well, and they go through this whole thread about all the different things that they had fixed. But the crazy part, like you said, it was only 86 fails out of this entire thing, which people were able to actually get back in after the fail and actually mint. I think they had like 100 and something DripDropz afterwards.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Or DripDropz Cornucopias.
Gotcha.
Over there.
See, not that mint.
They got me. But yeah, like, shout out to, because there was like this video that was supposed to be playing during this time, and Rob Krieg, he's one of the CEO of the Cornucopias game. He's kind of giving a little background into what had happened as well. So it was dope to see DripDropz step in, help such a big anticipated drop, because these guys have 34,000 followers. The mint went, you know, at the end of the day, still it was tough, but it was a good learning lesson. And I think at the end of the day, most people got what they wanted to at least get. I got 3 commons, so I'm thankful to get anything at all. But my luck was not on that side because some of those things were selling super crazy. Like if you minted a rare, I know a couple of guys in our Discord. One guy sold it right away for 500 and something ADA right off the bat for a rare. And I was like, that dude,
that's great.
Quick flip, yeah, not bad.
Yeah, zip and flip it, dude.
Zip and flip.
He was
Like,
crushing.
who knows where they could go, but at the same time, there's plenty of reasons why. Like, hey, take that 500 now. You got a lot more mints coming up too. We got a busy spring coming up, so you're set, ready to go.
Well, it's dope too, and I don't know how the rarities are going to work. Like you said, you can see like the commons versus the mythic right here on there. So I don't know what the difference is going to be when you actually build out your bubble jets, but I'm assuming obviously with it being different rarity types, there's going to be a lot cooler stuff you can do. So I don't know. The prices on those are definitely like recorrected a little bit. I think the floor sits around like 168 for the common one right now. But they're still holding strong. Like 128 a mint, 11,900 of them that sold. So congrats to Cornucopias. It's their first drop. It dropped out there. And it also, I'm sure, is going to push the community and it just CNFTs in general forward. Now having that kind of data in for the Derp team to go ahead and be able to help others who are taking advantage of that minting system for the multi-sig tech. And shout out to DripDropz for giving that amazing thread too, because that was some technical stuff in there, dude. It blows my mind.
I like that.
What these guys are able to do. It's actually pretty crazy. And then one of the last things that we had got a chance to go ahead and actually talk about, which we were big into the show last year, was the Broar, dude. Our Broars, dude. Is it Boar? I think it's Boar. We've established that it's a roar, but
yeah, Broar, yeah.
Not Broho or. But yeah, shout out to the Mandrillz because they went ahead and I think they shouted us back out too because we had that video and I had no idea what I was saying. These guys went ahead and they launched, they sold out like it was an instant sellout. They had a cool little minting system. We were all whitelisted, so we were able to go ahead and send in. They had a little website, which during the whitelist sale, I think that website was actually pretty nice because you could actually
it was like CNFT farm. It actually worked out really well. I like their minting style too.
Oh, they had it here. I wonder if I can still get to it from there. No, it just takes you to JPEG store. Before, yeah, it was the CNFT farm where you could just get to it and then you would mint and you could see like the next mint that was like upcoming. So I thought that was pretty cool that you're able to take a look at that. But these guys went ahead and they sold out instantly. The whitelist was nice. You could just send it in. I got mine back within like 15 minutes when I first did the whitelist sale. And then they opened it up to the public on Saturday and you were able to mint up to 3 per transaction. So I went in, sent for another 3 on Saturday. I went ahead and got all mine as well. I was lucky to get through the thing. But these guys, dude, they've got some volume that's pushing right now. And again, that artwork is colorful. TJ, I know you're a big fan of these guys.
Oh,
right?
I went and bought a fedora one tonight.
Did you?
Yeah, before we did the podcast. I got a fedora one. I liked it a lot.
Is that the one you sent in our chat?
I did, yeah.
Well, I'll have to go ahead and pull that up for our viewers right here while we're sitting here doing a quick little looky, huh? Oh, there's our eye Carly, huh? Yeah, check them out right there. That's dope looking. I didn't even know. I realized that these things had the fedoras.
Dude, I like the fedora ones a lot.
The peacock feather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
He's got the chains on
too.
With the
I was about to say,
yeah, man.
It's like
TJ
chains.
That's right. But I felt connected to this one, so I wanted to get
I actually ended up buying one of these off the secondary early in too because I liked it so much. I got like a purple Mandrillz.
You got a purple Mandrillz? Dude, I got one of the
I think I sent you guys that. I was like, my Mandrillz is so plain. I sent you that picture where it was common, as opposed to my Mandrillz because it was just a plain regular.
It was common.
Yeah. It was just a common picture common. Yeah.
This is one of the ones, the three rarest ones that I got at TJF. So they actually went up live on CNFT tools. They went live on CNFT tools, which we were looking on CNFT Jungle for a little bit. So they're now.
Oh, did it jump up? What is yours now?
I'm like 620 something.
Damn.
Out of the 8,000.
What a snipe, dude.
So the Yetis, the white bodies ones, but I got the little pimp stick or whatever it's called with these like wavy t-shirts.
And the watch too.
And the little matches. But yeah, this was my rarest one that I got out of mine. So I was excited to learn about that.
That one's cool.
So I like how they theme stuff though too, because we were talking about it. Like right here, like there were some like once winter sets in, the Yeti gang takes over the bar where my Yeti Broar's at. And it's like, they're theming it with these different ones right here. So that's kind of cool. Like just being like,
I like when communities do that. They make floor prices of certain traits go up because of the communities that they make within the Mandrillz or a different community like that. I like how that happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
I agree 100%. You see people like really then start to flex and kind of get their own like identity within the community. I like that a
well,
lot. It's one of my favorite things that
Hey,
ends up happening, like just naturally on Discord and stuff.
anyone
well,
got the fedora? Show it off. I want to see it. Big fan of the fedoras.
You got the fedoras. Yeah. Well, somebody we're going to talk about here in a little bit is like the Space Apes, the Stash Club. Like they
That's
have
right.
like
That's
their
right.
own little thing.
Exactly. That's right.
It's the same kind of thing. So big shout out to Mandrillz for selling out. I'm curious of where they're going to go from here. They have a big community built behind them. I know I think they had talked about buying up some of the floor a little bit with their wallet. Because that was part of that roadmap was to be able to get back to that. So you may see this floor get picked up a little bit, and then from there, we'll see what happens.
I know CNFT Rob, he's from Mandrillz or a creator of it. I'm not sure if he's a creator of it or the artist of it, but I know he's a part of the team. He's been posting a lot all day the past few days about the floor and to buy up and stuff. So that's really cool to see how active he is.
Yeah, well, it's dope because it definitely has that colorful feel. There's a lot of different, there's all these different looks to it. It's not just like, these things, yes, they're, they kind of look somewhat similar, but there's a lot of different traits that go into these different things. So all the different colors and random stuff on there. So I think they got enough background. This one was cool. It's the Pennywise one.
Pennywise, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that was dope. So, but there's some cool, like, just colors and it's
I really like
that
the
stick out to you
a lot. The LeBron ones are
designed. I did full disclosure. I flipped my LeBron one early on because your boy needed a one zip and flip. So basically what I did was I bought my whitelist one for 52, got my flip for 150 ADA, and then used that 150 ADA to buy back the 3 for the next day.
That worked out.
That I hold still all 3 still. So, but yeah, that's part of the zip and flip mentality, right? We're not here to hold all day long.
Damn, I don't like these, Tommy. Take these away. They make me jealous.
I want the fanny bag one.
Yeah, those are some solid ones.
Those look dope, right?
I will say from the mint, the one thing that I noticed, I mean, I've seen it a lot in a lot of mints I've gotten into lately as far as in the Discord, but how many just new people, like I forget, are getting into CNFTs still in Cardano? Because the amount of people you see that say, I sent this in 30 minutes ago. Where do I go?
Dude.
Yeah, where do I see my NFT? And then people are like, hey, just be patient. There, there's some congestion. And they're like, no, I don't mean like rush. I don't know where to see it. Like, what do I do now to see it? And they have to explain, like, all right, go to this website, pull and then type in whatever wallet you use, like send from, and then it'll pull up. And they're like, well, I did that, but there's nothing there. And it's like, well, you don't have the NFT yet. There's not going to be anything there. Like, just how new some of these people are blew my mind.
Oh yeah. Well, it's definitely different too for people who are coming over from another chain. Like I hear that, like I had a buddy of ours this weekend. He was like trying to connect for the Cornucopias drop, and he got into the queue, which was great. Like that's a normal thing, right? You connect your wallet, you go into the queue. The Mandrillz and other things, they're just like, yeah. So I copy and paste this address, and I'm supposed to get the NFT. Well, I did that like 20 minutes after because it wasn't there exactly at the right time. And then I didn't get my NFT back. What happens now? And it's like, dude, if you didn't get it within that first 10 seconds, you probably didn't get it.
SOL.
They have no idea. Dataless is the key out here. You can't just.
I don't know though. You had the Nami with the node connection on Saturday, and you beat me out by 2 minutes.
Well, so there's a lot of different things that go into these mints, right? Like, I don't think it gets talked about enough, like by at least some of the content creators, but. So I know there was a video out there how you could connect your Nami to your dataless node, right, to essentially make your Nami become like as fast as dataless like directly. And there's like a coding thing, and someone did a great tutorial video on how to do that, and that's cool. I'm tech savvy, but like sometimes messing with some of the code, like it gets me a little sketched out a little bit, like especially when I got money and stuff inside that wallet. I have no idea what I'm doing. So for me, I opted to go to the API endpoint drop, where there's a bunch of different, you can Google some stuff out. I used it from the guy over from Pernus Token, the guy said over there, someone recommended to me. But I know Monad Alexander, the guy from Unsigs, they had a group of different people who run Cardano nodes and have their own nodes. Essentially what the API endpoint is, especially for Nami, is you go directly into your wallet, go to your settings tab, and then go choose the node endpoint of where you want to go ahead and run through your transactions, and it basically shrinks the mempool down. So instead of being like in the community one where everybody general Nami, they use all of Nami's nodes to be able to run their transactions. Basically what that did is if you had a custom endpoint, it would go to the nodes that those individual people are running. So I forget how many the guy has. He had like 3 or 5 of them, something like that. So my transaction time was not going on the community one, it was going inside of this guy. So I had a better, smaller mempool to go ahead and get through to get my transaction out versus the general community if you're not using one of those custom APIs. So I did that. And on top of that, I guess your UTXOs, which if you have a bunch of those, everybody realize if you have JPEG store right now, if you have UTXOs or any incoming outgoing transactions inside your wallet, you're having problems right now buying and selling stuff inside a JPEG store. I guess the less UTXOs and stuff you have inside your wallet while trying to mint, especially with a custom endpoint, you got a way higher chance of getting your transaction out.
That's been a real pain in the ass, by the way. I mean, make a new account just to sell something or buy something, I should say. That's been driving me nuts.
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to, I don't want to just promote all those endpoints out there, but if there's anybody in our Discord that has questions about that kind of stuff, feel free to shoot us a message or shoot me a DM on there. I'll be happy to kind of set you guys up on how to do that. But it definitely saves you.
You can post that, at least, the directions on how to do it, and then there's other endpoints and stuff to access. But put your Pernis in the Discord.
You can put your Pernis in the Discord, get your custom API Pernis, and you're good to go.
I just slid into your DMs now.
So I'm gonna get off stream here and tell TJ how to buy stuff. No, is speaking of that, like it's a good topic, which is a little impromptu for us. Just on your minting, right, is like nowadays, especially when you're trying to beat out. I mean, I think we're going to lose that first come, first serve kind of method here. But if you are trying to do that right now, I always recommend starting a fresh wallet or having a fresh wallet to mint out of, especially on those important drops like that. Because the more NFTs you have inside your wallet, dude, it just bogs down your transaction time for sure. And that
buying wallet, that sneak wallet that you just kind of buy in and transfer out of. Yeah.
Well, I've even done that with JPEG store now. It's like if I have NFTs that I want to sell, I'll move them out of my main wallet into that little wallet, then connect that to a JPEG store or something, and then my transactions go through no problem.
Well, it seems the more of the issue is buying on JPEG with all your NFTs. I'm not really selling so much. It's the buying aspect. That's what I had to make a different wallet for.
Buying,
keep having people fail. People keep trying to buy. People keep trying to buy my NFTs, and they transaction fails on JPEG store.
Yeah, why are you selling them?
To get ADA,
zip and flip. No, that's that. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to make some more ADA, right?
Of course,
you got to buy back in. What's the point of doing all this? At the end of the day,
I did the same, similar to Tommy. I had my Mandrillz. I got my my common guy off the whitelist, and I was trying to just post them up because the floor was rising on the way up, and I had bought one right at the same time on the secondary that I liked, and they were supposed to be kind of like a flip one for the other. And then my transaction fails. So now I got both, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a big thing inside of the space itself right now is just the buying and selling. It's very frustrating to new people who come into the space. So educating them, especially on hey, this is how it works over here. Here's some tips and tricks to go ahead and make your life 10 times easier. Because it's very frustrating if you have no idea what you're doing on that. So
tips and tricks, those zips and flips,
Tips, trips, zip, and flip. Get them blue chips. Rhymes. Done.
Good rhyme. Good rhyme.
Good rhyme. Nice rhyme. What's that from? Mr. D's.
I'll bring the beers.
I'll bring the beers.
I'll bring the beers.
I forgot that.
Nice rhyme.
Nice rhyme.
Read us a card, Deeds. Read us a
Al
card.
Sharpton? He's in the fucking. Oh man, that was a good movie. But moving on, outside of the Mandrillz, there was another super popular mint that went ahead, and I was very salty because I didn't make it into the Discord in time. Overexposed. Overexposed had dropped their Genesis token over here for their mechanism drop. There was 1,000 of these things, and you had to have the 35 millimeter roll, which I butchered. I think the last time Tom corrected me on that, for their 35 millimeter roll. And again, the millimeter roll it all ties back. Like I said, overexposed is that high quality art by this guy, Ren Ellis. And he has, he came over from the East side into Cardano. He did that interview with Cardano Thor, like we had talked about last week. And being also run the Discord with 4-5 Jeff, he's from the 2500 club. You may know him. But they were opening up this Discord in a very limited fashion at first because there was so much hype surrounding this project. So the first 1,000 people inside that Discord went ahead and got the 35 millimeter roll, which granted you access to be able to mint this Genesis token, which I'll go ahead and pull up here because these things are amazing looking. I was a big fan of these, and this is the rarest one that I'll bring up onto the screen while we're showing here. But yeah, these basically, they're, again, it remind me of the old school cameras, right? And it's the heads of some of those things. but these are the Genesis tokens that went ahead and minted, and these were 100 ADA. Oh, that's Wraith right there. But I think there's 5 different variations of these as well. You guys get a chance to see these things?
Oh yeah, I did not see them completed like that. No, I thought they were much simpler.
Salty.
These are amazing. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, they're super detailed, and some of these have their music in the background of them as well. But these were the Genesis tokens, which basically essentially act as like a whitelist and like a membership token into future stuff for them. Their future mint, which is going to be their exposed mint, which I think if I can pull the Discord over here while we're sitting here on stream, I wanted to kind of talk about their Genesis like FAQ for this. So there was 1,000 of these Genesis tokens, which we saw a second ago. And they give you different perks inside of here, which again, you get to mint this, that price is only 100 ADA versus for their mechanism drop, which will be dropping later in April. And so you get a 50 ADA discount. So it's a very, very high discount. And you get that 35 millimeter roll by holding one of those. And outside of that, your future mint price for things will be discounted. You're going to go ahead and basically get early access into, or not early access, I guess priority access and mint access into whitelist access into the next drop, which is going to be their exposed drop over there, which they haven't really given any details other than, or any visuals on it, other than there's going to be 4,000 of them. So 1,000 of them are going to be whitelisted to those Genesis token holders. So if you hold one of these right now, that's why they're so hot on the secondary, because people are like, dude, the quality of work on this stuff is up there. So having a guaranteed whitelist into that stuff is going to be huge. So
what kind of music play with them, Tom? Is it like old timey Charlie Chaplin, like silent film music to go with like the style of the camera, or is it like modern music?
No, it reminds me of like there's different ones over there. This one's just kind of like I don't know, it's like a display, like nice, like I don't know how to explain it.
Like imitate the sound. Do the sound right now.
You always want me to do the sound.
No, I don't know, like just the style of the camera. I just pictured like some sort of like, you know, this like ragtime music, like piano music, where like a silent film plays.
Oh, this one's more like EDM-ish right here. This is the Rainbow, the most rarest one. There's only 5% of these tokens. So what is that? 50 of those. So those ones look dope. But anyway, I wanted to just shout that out because you see the secondary sales for these things. I think the floor of these, while we were talking, they were sitting around like a 650 ADA floor still.
Up. All right.
So this has been something I've been trying to hunt and acquire here this past few days. Because I was just getting FOMO right now. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I thought this said 827. It's still it's 655 right now.
Oh, you're about to be so upset. You've been working.
I was like, I'm so close. I just flipped like 500 ADA around real quick. I'm sitting here ready to buy. But yeah, so I'm trying to get into these Genesis, this club to get the 35 millimeter roll. If you don't make it into the Genesis roll, there will be a 3,000 supply, assuming every Genesis holder mints their one. So 1,000 ADA will go, 3,000 go to the public. And you're going to, I guess, they're going to be working on some like whitelist spots. I don't know if the public's going to be able to get in that, but 100 ADA for people who hold the Genesis token, 150 ADA for the public sale on these. And these come out sometime in early April. So no idea how that's going to work. Rarities will be on it. And I guess you're going to be able to use whatever wallets you want to use. But I'm curious too, because this stuff, these guys are hyped right now inside.
Yeah, I need to get one.
And they just did this huge auction right here. This is the thing that I was telling you about, Tom. This thing there was a bid for 30,000 ADA on this. And it's just the quality of the artwork for this stuff looks super dope. Like this Cardano logo that lights up right now. It just reminds me of like the Rock Bull right there.
Yeah.
But it looks super dope the way they did this.
I like it a lot.
Almost like a movie trailer.
Dude, the music on it is like a movie trailer.
Yeah.
And it's just dope because he's got the head for that thing with the gun. Like his quality of artwork, man, is super, super. And there's, the film right there.
Like the bullets, the film. That's great.
So the crazy thing is, which I don't have an update yet on this, was that someone had bid this for 30,000 ADA. The guy ended up being a fake bidder. He didn't actually have the ADA. So they actually are revising like how they're going to be doing the drop or re-auctioning that back off. So that's pretty crazy. But if the hype for this stuff already is like in that kind of range, I can only imagine like what the actual like the NFT drop itself is going to be able to do. And so we looked at it last week, and again, the quality of this stuff, super, super like detailed, super like just high quality, his artwork.
I'm curious now, like how close was it to 30,000 when they put that bid in? Like, was it 29,500? And that kid's like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna win. It's gonna go up again. And they just put in a 30,000, and then no one, like, going once, going twice. He was like, oh, no one's gonna do 30,500. Like, you serious?
He like slides down the
He's
chair.
just like, shit. Or was it like, was it at like 19,000, and he just like stood up in his chair like $30,000, and then just way out of this league, like didn't have even close to that.
I have no idea how that goes. I'm sure they'll have a way to verify that kind of stuff going forward. But you know, you always trust people, and then of course people are assholes sometimes and just do what they want to do.
You can't have nice things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we can't have nice things. But his artwork is definitely a nice thing for what he's building out there, man. This is some high quality stuff. So
they should make them post like their wallet and the bid, so they can verify if it's an actual like legit bid or not.
Right. Yeah. I
definitely have them verified somehow. Yeah. And then there'll be like a list or something. Yeah. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, shout out to Overexposed. Those Mechanism, the first 1,000 of those things are doing really well in the secondary. I mean, even if you minted, you didn't want anything to do with the project, you just happened to get Discord early, bought this for 100 ADA, and you can sell for 650 right now. I mean, that's not a bad little flip right there as well. And these things could come down. My luck right now, I'm trying to wait for them to come down, and they're going to do the opposite. So
no shot. Early April, they're not coming down much at all.
I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. So shout out to Overexposed and these guys. I'm a big fan of this stuff, and I can't wait to see what they end up releasing. This is definitely going to be that next like big, if you're thinking like hyped up project right now, this is definitely going to be one of those when they actually do release in about a month. So shout out to
now. He's calling it out.
Hey, we got our eyes on Overexposed.
Call. Yeah.
7,093 followers. We'll see where they're at in about a month. Guys, it's gonna be like 20-something thousand plus for Nicole. That's my guess. We'll go over 20,000 by that time frame.
I'll say 17,000.
Will you have one by then too?
The price is right.
We'll see. Yeah.
Well, next thing, which we wanted to kind of blast over here. I don't know if I can share with our buddy over here. He's inside of our Discord. This guy Werz, kind of taking us into the next topic, but also wanted to piggyback off the last one. This guy Werz over here. He's got his Cornucopias ship, but inside of that, you got your little Space Ape.
That looks really good.
And he did a really good job on that.
Right there. I didn't see
so you combine those two. So yeah, he got a shout out. You got some decent.
Did he post that in Discord?
Yeah,
he did. How did I miss that one?
I don't know if he posted on our Discord, but he posted.
Where's it at?
He tagged us on Twitter.
Did. So. We just totally missed it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, actually, I did see that 100%. Yeah, I saw that. All right.
Yeah, so shout out to him because we moved over to the Space Ape Club, which is somebody a community that we went ahead last week and had a poll for in our Discord, our first like community poll, and Space Ape Club like showed up in true fashion. They had like almost 60 votes. They had posted an announcement in their Discord like, hey, go join their the server, go ahead and vote. We want to hear about Space Ape Club on the Freedom 35ers show. And the whole point behind that was they were supposed to drop their white paper during that time frame, and we were like right on the edge. They were just getting ready to drop it right before we started to record, and I don't think they even dropped it until like right after we finished recording on that. So yeah, we had to do them justice this week. We had to go ahead and talk about the space paper. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Space Ape Club is born from Lovelace CNFT. Back in the day, Lovelace has been an OG inside the space. He's done stuff for the Aidonauts early on. He's done all kinds of different drops, and basically a master of utility and finding ways to make different art projects. He's a great publisher and just a dude, a hype man. So he dropped the Space Ape Club, was born out of, if we can get a little history lesson on this. So these were actually born out of these Halloween apes, which we had talked about previously onto the show. These Halloween apes were just a fun drop for anybody inside the Discord. They were what, 15 ADA?
13, only 13.
13 ADA. Okay.
I thought I was 15, but either way, yeah, one of those 7
ADA
could have been something like that, right? But they were cheap, and there was 10,000 of them. They were dropped on Halloween night. I remember it specifically because we're out like walking, like, just out in the neighborhood, come inside, and I'm like, oh, there's a drop going on. I remember sending you guys over the address later on, and we all minted this stuff, and these guys sold out in a stealth drop like overnight. And nobody knew what they are. Everybody was kind of like, oh, the artwork looks dope. These are different little like space apes. Sounds cool. We had no idea what they were going to be. I remember we even told like William and Chris to go ahead and buy these things too. And they were like, all right, sounds good. Cheap, easy. From there, they also dropped these Thanksgiving bears, which are another one of the things that had happened. You know, he's given some utility to different things. This is part of that journey. But the main part of that, these Space Apes right here, the Halloween ones, where they were 1-to-1 tickets to go ahead and mint you the Space Ape Club, which is going to be like their official 10K drop. So there's 10,000 Halloween apes that can mint 1-to-1 tokens of the Space Ape Club. So Space Ape Club goes ahead and launches. I think I had 9 of them at the time when I first had bought these back in the day. And I ended up selling some of them. I think I still hold 2 to this day. But Space Ape Club was born out of that. And then from there, you know, Lovelace had dropped a video kind of detailing that they were going to be going into a staking aspect. And that staking aspect was also going to become its own ecosystem. And they were going to do a game, like a metaverse type game. Like make your 2D apes 3D was going to be the thing. So the space paper finally drops, and we finally got it over here. And they basically the main part of this thing was detailing kind of the tokenomics of their actual space token, which they actually go by the acronym of SACT, SACT. So Space Ape Token, or Space Ape Club Token. So it's kind of just gives you a big kind of history of what, you know, the backstory of what's going on, what exactly the Space Ape Token is going to be. And then outside of that, they kind of break down the tokenomics of, you know, the different staking mechanisms and what they plan on doing. So I know Tom or TJ, I know you guys have looked at this a little bit. What did this kind of draw anything out, you know, reaction to this space paper? Because I know a lot of people were waiting on it. And it's definitely very like analytical, I'd say. It's not the most flashy paper out there, but it definitely gives you a lot of information inside of it. It's interesting how they're doing the actual token itself. They're breaking it down into like phases almost,
and they're keeping it. You know, they have an ATM. They're calling it their ATM machine, where they're going to keep and delegate some of the tokens to that and save it in there. It'll always have a supply like within that ATM. The thing that hit me the most by the time we read it is that I was upset about, and I was actually like disappointed and pissed, because I have been talking to you, both of you, on Discord when we were talking about Tavern Squad, about how cool their little RPG game is, and how also it's also to a degree simple. You just have to connect your wallet and get that functionality, and then a lot of it's just kind of text-based type things, but it still keeps you engaged. And how I was saying, you could almost do that with lots of video games and things have this type of missions where you have side things where you can send a team or send your crew or send your ships, and they'll go do side stuff to kind of get passive things for you. And then I read this and was like, oh wow, that's essentially what they're doing as far as how their staking is going. You have it up now, where you're going to stake your ape and then have different missions to choose from. And I think I even said that to you guys, where I was like, you can even have different levels of rewards depending on how long it takes them to go out on their mission. And then, you know, I must have read this and forgot about it, and then stole the idea, told you, and then read about it again or something. Because I read this, I was like, this is exactly what I was talking about. And it's a great idea. I think it's very cool. It's just a little something different as far as how the staking goes. And it makes it a little bit more fun, a little more engaged. If you're doing a lot of these, it's one that you may come back to a little bit more because of that.
And they're using the drip drop methods too, that I was reading.
Yeah. So outside of that, there's a lot of stuff to take into this. Yeah, the staking is going to be the big key thing, right? You're going to be able to stake your space ape. The cool thing about the staking mechanism, which is you know, a little different, and you're starting to see this finally happen, but the actual NFT itself is going to get staked. So I'm curious. And DripDropz, shout out to DripDropz for being you know, one of the coolest services out there, I think, to be able to actually distribute tokens and actually, like, you know, essentially whitelist certain things. They're utilizing DripDropz to go ahead and actually deliver these Space Ape Club tokens at a rate of one token per Space Ape per day, meaning that you can gain 5 Space Ape tokens per epic per each ape. So if I own one epic, I'm going to get 5. So I own 2 right now, so I'll get 10 every 5 days.
What if you own 3?
If you own 3, then you get 15. Come on, math me out.
What if you own 4?
If you own 4, 20. Where are we at next?
What if you own 12?
You own 12 at 5 a day, buddy. That is 60.
Quick maths.
Quick math. But yeah, so that's kind of cool that you're able to actually stay and you utilize DripDropz for the redemption process on that. So every epic, you can go ahead. I guess you just put your wallet in, pay the fee for DripDropz, and you'll get your tokens for these things. So outside of that, I guess they're going to have a first initial supply of 20 million of these. Then sure, there's plenty of tokens for everyone to start staking. And it just, honestly, I guess they're going to work on open up liquidity pools for some of the dexes that are out there right now. So be interested to see them on like, a SundaeSwap or a MushiSwap or one of those. And then I guess one of the big things is that they're going to be turning, like we were talking about, the 2D apes will eventually go into the 3D apes is something that they're looking to go through.
Yeah, because
I'm excited to
get into like some metaverse stuff too, where they don't have any plans, they're not like, we're going to come out with their own metaverse too and get crazy. But I think they're going to probably focus, it sounds like, on getting some good 3D models and then incorporating them into other metaverses that actually are successful and build upon what they have going on to kind of join in.
That's the cool thing, because he's not just thinking like, specific, like hyper focusing it into their own, like, this is our metaverse, this is where you use your Space Ape. They're like, no, take that Space Ape, we're going to make it 3D, but you can bring it wherever you want. And I like that they're going to go to other Cardano metaverses. So, right, if I wanted to go to PAVIA, if I wanted to go to Metadams, which we'll talk about here, Cardano Village, maybe all the, whatever these different metaverses are. Cornucopias, boom. You got so much Boss Planet. Hey, you got some
Unbounded
other ones
Earth.
Oh, throw them out. Danaverse?
No.
Cardania?
I don't think we're gonna make it to Danaverse.
Not that one. Sorry.
But no, I thought that was cool. I know Lovelace and the guys over there. They're very ambitious. That team over there. So it's going to be cool to see that. First off, they're taking the staking mechanism, utilizing DripDropz. It's another Cardano great tool. And then from there, they're going to go ahead and actually bring that to life with those actual. Those actually metaverse, a different metaverse, and they're going to be able to bring those models like cross portal. Can you portal across to different ones?
Crossverse.
I don't know the terms. There's so many different shits over there. I'm getting like lost. I will say the only gripe I have about this paper over here is this graph was fucking psyching me out. There was just a lot of arrows, and I know I was like trying to follow where I was going right there. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to break this down, or if anybody can like, hey buddy, this is where we're going with this. There's so many arrows pointing to me. I feel like I was getting attacked from that. But I think they were working to put this together pretty quickly to get it out to everybody, because they were working so hard on the actual development of it. So I think the graph guy that day was just like, dude, here's what it is. I swear it's gonna work. Just here you go. So I did want to shout that out. I thought it was funny.
It looks like, someone describing how a computer runs in 1994.
Yeah, like it's like, oh shit, bro, like got some complicated stuff going out there. Like, no, I swear to God, it's easy, but just here,
stick figure and everything.
Like, that makes you think, so many inputs.
Makes you think of in Little Giants when John Madden writes the play on the board and he just has a bunch of arrows going everywhere.
Well, I mean, it's dope that obviously there's all kinds of different things that they're trying to do with this, and then, like he's building basically like the Space Ape Club universe. There's so much they're building into this thing itself. But the ATM is definitely interesting too, Tom. Like you said, they're going to be putting some of that those coins into that ATM, and I guess there's only some will only be available through that ATM machine. So I'm curious to learn a little bit more how that's going to actually work, how you're going to be able to interact with that. And I guess the price of the Space Ape Club distributed through the machine increases 2 times each time half the ATM initial supply is redeemed. So
interesting.
Break that down.
I think, and I'm sure they're watching what's going to happen with the space too. They get the token going, and then now they're going to have an ATM that holds a supply of that token as more other projects kind of build, cross platform compatibility and things like that. It's possible that these tokens could be used in other ways too. If you can get the Space Apes and PAVIA and then have some sort of Space Ape area, or the Space Ape hangout. I don't know, it's like floating in space or some shit. And then that's where you can also maybe start using some of the Space Ape token. They can bring that kind of into PAVIA on top of the PAVIA token for the Space Ape area. So I'm sure they're going to watch and see what they can do, because that ATM holding that can allow them to buy into more stuff that will benefit all the holders.
Well, the crazy thing, which I was reading through it as what we were going through too, is I guess, like I said, it doubles each time half the supply is redeemed. So the more that people redeem from this ATM, essentially this cost is going to get more and more expensive, to eventually to the point where using the ATM is not even going to be worth it anymore. So it's essentially increasing the value of some of those tokens by doing that. So that's an interesting mechanic to break that down right there.
I don't know. Be curious to see how fast that takes for that to happen.
True.
That'll be interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting idea. So you're right. Let's see, because they got a strong community too. The people that are in Space Ape, We saw that from the Discord. They came and flooded it and blew up that poll. I think they won by double anyone else. The other ones are pretty close as far as a tie, and they came in. So the community's strong. So if they start hitting that ATM hard, they could go through that pretty quick. I mean, 20 million for the first supply is a lot, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then the last one of the other things inside of there was the actual airdrops themselves. So moving forward, every airdrop will be redeemable through the airdrop redemption cards once the Space Ape Club token is available for redemption. So Space Ape Club holders will be able to send in one Space Ape token in exchange for an airdrop game element or gamification elements that are provided at that time. So it'll only be one per transaction. And you're basically utilizing that for redemption of any of the promotional items. So that is another value getting asked to. So I don't know what kind of airdrops are going to be dropping, but it could be also stuff, for the game itself that may be worthwhile. That's only able to be done through redemption of that token. So giving value back to that Space Ape token as well. So it's dope to be able to see that.
It's cool how they're doing the airdrops like that. I like that, where it's going to be based on, it's another just, they're trying to get creative with some more utility for their token within its space, as opposed to just kind of like, we made a token, hopefully the market gives it value and it becomes successful for you. Our job's done. Like it seems like they're really trying to come up with some cool ideas to give that more utility and more use right off the bat.
Yeah, and one of the big things, like I said about Lovelace, is like he
he's utility master. Yeah,
he's he definitely utility master.
8 knots. I mean, that's kept you in since the beginning. You've been on top of all those drops because of all the extra stuff, and you're always looking for the secret stuff. I know you're always like, I might as well buy 10 of these because, who knows if he's going to start airdropping his stuff to people that have 10 of them. He just always kind of throws in sneaks like that.
Well, it's definitely, I know always holding more than one of whatever you have for him is always a good idea. I know basically with the policy ID, I guess there's a thing with the Halloween apes where basically those are going to become just artwork at this point because they couldn't bring the policy ID, bring them up to speed with the policy ID. So Space Ape Club or the Space Ape Halloweens are pretty much relevant now, other than just being collector's items. So those are one thing they're not bringing forward. I think with the bananas as well. So other than that, though, those your Space Ape actual Space Apes are going to be the thing you're going to be utilizing going forward. One thing we're doing right now is they were doing a collaboration with is it Cardano Kings over here.
Did you mint one of those?
I did not mint one of these yet. There were 50 ADA, 5,555 of them with 18 legendaries for grabs. I remember Cardano Kings back in the day, but I did not mint any of these ones. I got wrecked this weekend by just mints going on. Yeah. But I did see that happening right now. Cool thing about this Cardano Kings and Space Apes like collab over there is they were adding utility. They were working together to add utility to each other's projects, where I guess holding a Space Ape Club and Cardano Kings collab pieces are basically making you eligible for a 1-to-1 claim of Cardano's utility token called Crowns and the Space Ape Club's token as well. So holding this gets you access into a direct claim for those tokens as well. And then Crowns, which I didn't know anything about this either, can be collected in exchange for a variety of Cardano NFTs, including Space Buds, Clay Nation, Cardano Bits, and Cardano Warriors. So maybe something to look into Cardano Kings a little bit. And then basically,
like I'm in an arcade, like I'm, putting my tickets in for Tootsie Pops and Bendy Straws. You get Space Apes instead.
I used to get the finger jail.
Oh yeah, the Chinese finger trap for sure. Yeah, the Tootsie Rolls were always like the last, like they're always the one ticket, so you could get 15 of those and then go for that one big thing. That's cool though. I like that. That's the Crown token. I hadn't heard of this one because I'm not in there. I don't have a Space Ape, so I'm not in the Discord. I'll have to check this out more though, because that's
definitely check it out right now.
Yeah,
public's open right now.
Like a lot.
55 ADA, a maximum of 3 per transaction. And then they also, lastly, Lovelace had updated today too some merch updates. They partnered with a thing called Panty Heist, of all things, to go ahead and get some merchandise. They had some stickers and stuff that they had got for these guys, and they have some t-shirt concepts working on right now. So they're starting to break into the merch realm as well for these guys. So again, always something going on inside the Space Ape Discord for these guys and Lovelace and the team. So they got a good group of people behind them, man. So I just had to shout that out. Shout out to Space Ape for the white paper, for all the tokenomics for those guys. Shout out to all the Space Ape club members that jumped into our Discord and have stuck around, or just anybody who wanted to hear more about it and kind of help put it on the map. These guys, they were up to, a 200 plus floor at one point back when the Chill Kongs were going crazy. I think they were, they dropped down, but they're starting to move back up again. They're down to around a 68 a floor currently, as of March 1st today. So we'll see what happens with these guys, man. I still hold on to my two ones that I love, and definitely plan on bringing them into the metaverse. I don't want to sell those things. So.
And then this is just a symptom of having brain worms. But every time I read the Space Ape Club token, the SACT, I don't know why my brain finishes it as your old gamer tag. I just read SACT tap.
SACT
every time. I'm glad. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Every time it's SACT tap. Every time I see it.
SACT tap. That's funny. Dude, and another project that we went ahead and had to get an update on, because it's been actually a couple episodes, I think, which is our Metaverse update. Our little beep, 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 beep. What do we say? Our theme song. Yeah.
We interrupt this broadcast for another Metaverse update.
PAVIA over here, 64,000.6 followers, only 6x since the first time we ever covered him, which is actually insane.
All because of us.
All because, right now. Can't take the credit. Our boy Ritos over here, community mod for PAVIA. Dude, I had a cool update the other day, which obviously J Crypto too. Shout out to all those metaverse connoisseurs, we call them out there. But Ritos over here, he went ahead and posted a cool update for these guys. They finally, over all this time, PAVIA has surpassed volume, past Spacebuds. #1 CNFT of all time, PAVIA out there. Granted, PAVIA has a shitload more NFTs.
I was going to say, with that many in volume, just in actual NFTs, it kind of makes sense, especially with their floor. Even with it lowering, it's crazy.
It's really cool to see though, man. These guys, I mean, obviously they've been growing and growing in space. That's just, I mean, that pays a testament to just how well Spacebuds has been doing. But just congrats to PAVIA for finally getting to that point. They've obviously established themselves as like the premier metaverse inside of Cardano, and I know they have plans that expand cross-chain, do multiple different things. They got all kinds of partnerships going on. They went ahead and announced their the team behind them. I think it was a CEO. I'd have to pull his name up over here, but they were talking to us about that as well. So they started, showing a little more transparency, which is what people wanted from them after the whole Cardano buzz thing. So it was dope to see this. And then the big update that I wanted to quick touch on today, inside this metaverse update, was like, hey, we got a rendering inside of PAVIA. And they kind of give you either on the right hand side here, like the actual position of where these are. This kind of reminds me of like the Cardano Village one, where they just drop a million different assets inside of that test verse. Yeah. So they're basically, this is the same kind of section right here, but they also speed it up. So this is all rendered in real time there. They were like, this is just us speeding this thing up, not to a point where it can handle the render. So it's not messing, the game itself is not going to be a choppy mess out there. So it was cool to kind of see that. It
was a lot more impressive seeing this for me, to see how the plots are going to actually kind of be laid out and utilized. It's very cool to see this. We're getting a little bit more of where we might be going. This might be a real thing. That's pretty awesome.
Well, it's dope to see the size and scope of those. So if that's a one plot right there, I got it. People with the estates, dude, you got some land to play with. Especially
even the character detail looks really good too.
No, yeah, it definitely looks way more than some of those other metaverses that are out there. They just look like, we talked about it, PlayStation 3 graphics, Sims 2. I think Travis, what's the guy's name? DJ and Travis made that video mocking that stuff with Sims 2. It was the graphics now, at least they seem to be
getting a little better.
Way better.
Around. Yeah, they're upgrading character models and the buildings and stuff. It's looking a lot better.
Yeah, so that was dope to see a little concept about it. It's cool that they're rendering, and again, this is all fine and dandy that you're showing us this. And I mean, again, you could just fake this thing, I guess, if you really wanted to. But I hopefully I'm starting to trust this team that they're actually starting to build this right now. So it's good to it gives a little more confidence seeing this kind of stuff, and it's interesting. It's definitely interesting, and I'm a big fan of what PAVIA is doing. Obviously, now that I'm curious to see what this is, I want to see myself near that stadium, dude. I'm 7 plots away from the stadium. I just want to be over there and just go catch my race. Go watch an equine race.
It would have been cool if they threw the stadium in this. I would have liked to see what their idea of.
Bro, they can't give you all the good shit, bro. They can't give you all the cool stuff.
I'm greedy. I'm greedy. I want to see it.
I know.
Yeah, damn, you're close, Tommy. You start, open up stadium parking, $20.
Dude, how many is this?
For tailgating.
Yeah.
He's at 1 right here. We're gonna count this. He's at 1 right here. Come on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the stadium, dude. I'm there.
That'd be it.
That's it. Done. That's gonna be easy run. That's dope though, that these guys have been are starting to show some more stuff out there. I know they announced. I have to go back and actually figure out who the team is over here. I think Ritos had sent us that a little bit a while ago too. The guy who was actually they got announced as like, was it CEO, or basically they were just like starting to dox who the team is a little bit now, which is dope. I know they also mentioned we didn't add this back a little bit ago, but PAVIA is also exploring like water inside the metaverse too, which you don't really see too much of that stuff as well. So I don't know. I don't know how these guys are going to do.
Beachfront property. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, those are the guys right there, right? That'd be cool. Like what that, I mean, it's like real life, right?
Yeah, that was my metaverse house.
Yeah, right. Well, these guys, I'd have to go back because I'm really curious who that CEO is again. I'll have to find that out. But yeah, shout out to PAVIA for this in-game render for the volume, right? Taking over the #1 in volume right now. That's insane. And just in general for these guys,
it's that fast too. Like hasn't been around that long either. Really,
well, the growth
like Space Buds.
Yeah, the growth has been insane too for these guys, right? It wasn't just like a quick. I mean, I guess they kind of blew up, over through the 3 land sales eventually here, but now it becomes.
It took really 2 though to catch on, and then after the second one, it still took a little bit. Like clearly people were making money, and there was some problems with botting on that second one, but people were like taking off as far as the floor, making a ton of money, and so it wasn't until that third one that like the hype was really there.
Yeah. Well, this is the guy that was searching here, the COO of PAVIA. This guy, Paul Manuel. Is that Manuel? Have you read that? Yeah, this apparently he's got a guy from London, England. He is now, the guy, I guess, the COO of PAVIA. He went ahead and announced that. So I don't know too much of the background about him, but apparently they're ramping up stuff right now. What was that thing, TJ? You had talked about this too earlier. We were talking about this, an estate to a portal in a central plaza. In addition, they're adding 3D modeling and rigging for the Bored Ape or a Bored Ape inside of there. So that's actually cool. So PAVIA will welcome all Bored Ape Yacht Club holders as part of our goal of interoperability. So that, dude, can you imagine just walking around PAVIA and seeing some built? That's a flex right there, and that's where these metaverse stuff really comes into play. Is, dude, imagine just walking around inside of PAVIA and all of a sudden seeing a Bored Ape guy just walking. Like, damn, that dude's fun.
I'm gonna walk around with a Mandrillz with my bat and beat them all.
Yeah. Damn, she just started some metaverse crime right there.
Some ape crime.
He's out there just whooping ass. Give me your NFT.
I'll be swinging around with the Oculus.
Oh, it's funny. But yeah, that's dope that PAVIA is crushing it in those aspects, and they're looking beyond just the Cardano blockchain, even though that will be built on there. I know they've also won, I guess, the best virtual award in the recent 22 NFT awards being built on Cardano. Interesting right there. So all these award shows, it's dope that these guys are getting recognition though right now. So we'll see what happens. But it's nice to see something a little more than just the map.
It's exciting,
update, right?
I like all that stuff that's happening. They're dropping more and more teasers each day and each week. That we've been seeing now. So I really am enjoying all of that.
Yeah. Well, shout out to PAVIA. Shout out to what they're doing.
Yeah, congratulations. And, that's a big milestone, big step. So
congrats on the volume. #1 in volume, man. That's dope. Dope to see that. One of the other metaverses that is now launching this weekend on March 5th is one we've talked about in the past here, is Metadams. And these are with those beavers.
The beavers.
Beavers.
Bro, these these beavers, like they become like humanoids. You can see them run around here in the back, but these guys have a pretty fleshed out. I mean, I don't know how fleshed out it is, but visually they have
visually they seem very advanced. Yeah,
they're very built in.
Crackdown Metaverse.
Yeah, it's the Crackdown one. They got all the colorful like neon green and stuff
game.
Like that. The guy was a good game, right?
But so shit out of that.
So this is a staked play to stake or staking metaverse. Play to stake metaverse. Sorry, the first play to stake metaverse on Cardano
today.
Yo, just edit that GIF in right now. God, you're gonna kill me, dude. But yeah, they staked to earn metaverse for these guys. So I guess these Beavis things were, I guess, like 2D versions of them back in the day, and they became 3D. And these are like one of your tickets into this metaverse to be able to get in is by holding one of these. The other way is to actually get your land, which is this land sale is happening this weekend on March 5th at 9 p.m. UTC, which if we do the math on that is at 4 p.m. Eastern. For us over there, 75 ADA for the land. And if you own 4 pieces of land, like a 2x2 parcel, you'll be able to actually like upload a picture to your like land on the map. So it's similar to like how Pavia does it. I'll
say like the Beavis in general like went under our radar, and even 100%. A lot of people in our Discord even have them, and we're promoting them as well. And I'm more pumped too, even seeing the Yummi partnership today with them. I can't wait to get one of these.
Well, the Yummi thing is going to be dope. We'll show that here in a sec. But these guys have got a docs team over here, which is good to see. Some of them are docs. I think last time we had done that, we had the guys. Then we have like Martin and Jeff. Like,
Jeff, because everyone had their cool.
And Martin, there they are.
And all these.
Jeff and Martin, like, fuck these guys. Yeah. Well, this is what you see. You see the 3D versions of these things and what they turn into. But this is kind of like what that. I guess the original. I never would have imagined like that turned into this, which turns into this.
I don't think I knew that till someone sent it in the Discord. They were like showing off the original like first iteration, and I was like, "Wait, this is where the Beavis started."
Yeah, Beavis, dude. I always read it like that, man. It just is dope. I guess this is the map, or this is the Pavia version of the map, right? Like, that's actually really cool. I didn't even notice this over here. Your picture, if you click inside the land, so I guess on the
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. That's dope.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Damn, I like that.
Water, just a pail. Okay, I was curious where that was going to take me. Uranium. All right. So
there's resources on the map. We're getting a little deeper. Okay.
I'm probably doing some research as we're going here, but
see the uranium. That's what happened to that Yummi. It got irradiated.
Yes. Oh,
had some mutations. Yeah. That was the problem.
Bro, that Yummi was probably one of my favorite things. So they built like in-game assets outside of this, and Yummi was one of the ones that they announced. Like, here's some of the renders over there, which again, that makes more sense with that. Was it uranium? Is that why all the green is there?
Yeah.
But apparently, if you held a Yummi, I don't know which Yummis you're gonna have to hold, but your Yummi is gonna be able to be utilized. And they made an in-game model of the Yummi today. And dude, this was like the thing of like of nightmares though. Inside, like somebody like posted like a picture in there. It was like, do you want to play a game? And it was like the close-up of this right there. He's just so big, dude. He's like a big like giganaroo, like chonked out like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Yummi's been eating too much rice.
That's why he's in the lettuce section right now. You see that?
Dude, he's a big boy right there. That's for sure.
Too much noodles. Yeah, he's got to stay away from those noodles.
On top of that, he's huge.
Look at that. If he fell over, I don't think he could stand back up.
Right. He'd have really tiny like trouble with his tiny little arms and stuff. David would be over there like, and David's like, I saw him in the chat today inside the Yummi chat. He was just like, yeah, we can help them out with some of the modeling and stuff like that. But everybody had a good laugh at that today. But it was cool to see that.
Cool like that picture right there,
dude, I love it.
This right here is my favorite part where he just like turns to you and just like looks at you. This is like right here, like where is it at?
Like Jigsaw.
Boom. Boom. Where's like, do you want to play a game? But no, I just had I don't know what the deal is out there. I guess Yummi. I mean, anytime Yummi announces a partnership with anybody, so that right now, I know the Yummi team. I trust what the guys are doing after talking with David, and just have confidence in them. So the fact that they're partnering up and actually with this group, it gives me a little more confidence to go ahead and jump into this metaverse and back up this team. So good to know that I don't necessarily need to own a Beavis to be able to run around in there. I can actually use my Yummi to be able to get inside of there. So I don't know how that's going to be able to do, but it says you'll be able to play as Naru if you hold a Yummi Universe NFT. So,
well, I'm curious if other projects are going to want a partnership with them after seeing Yummi partner with them. So that'd be kind of cool to see.
They definitely have more partnerships outside of Yummi. So I feel like there's other stuff that we've talked about over here. I have to continue to keep going down through. This is the Yummi tweet. So outside of this, they have partnered up. JPEG Store has its own headquarters inside of there. Which is going to be dope. And that's pretty decent size out there, right? So they're you know, they're building inside of there. They're partnering with Ardana, which is the Dana token over there, down Dana, however you want to pronounce that. It's actually pretty decent size, man. Like it's actually got a good little build out of it. And
I will say the Yummi thing did get me a little bit, like, you know, we've been watching it. I've been interested, but I haven't like bought in. But now it's like, now I'm gonna pull the trigger after seeing the Yummi thing.
Yeah, and you see there's different Ratsdow, Muesli Swap, Chilled Kongs, Liquid.
I think I saw
lots of partnerships with these guys. So this is like something like I gotta talk to Jay Crypto, man. I know he's got some insider info on this kind of stuff too, probably, or at least got his head wrapped around it. But this kind of stuff, dude, it makes me excited, and like it does remind me of like you know, the graphics aren't insane or anything like that, but they're definitely clean enough to be able to go jump in and be pretty cool to deal with, especially if you have like VR and stuff, right? But look at the different avatars right here are definitely not just all bee visitors running around. You can obviously have different kinds of things. So it's cool to see the partnerships. Can you imagine Chilled Kongs inside of here?
Yeah, they got some big ideas. I like that. They're really getting it, like kind of trying to bring it together as opposed to like just building their own and like, nope, it's just stay out.
Yeah. So I think so. Curious on the land sale for these. So 6,432 of these lands are going to be available, but 2,115 are being airdropped. So to the public sale outside of that, 4,317 are going to be up for sale.
Public sale is on Monday, right?
No, public sale is on Saturday.
No, it's Monday.
No, TJ's public sale is on Monday. So make sure you're like TJ and go mint, but do not do that. Saturday, 3/5, 9 p.m. UTC, 75 ADA. Go get your land.
Unless you're over there in the future, we got a couple people listening in Australia, so you know what I mean. Just be careful of that.
Yeah, if you're that, then you're on the 6th, probably on that day.
Then you're on Monday with TJ.
Yeah,
TJ's over there. Yeah, you've already minted. We'll catch you guys in the future on that. But yeah, shout out to Metadams and this universe. The play to stake thing is definitely interesting. The partnerships that they've lined up already too. It's actually really, really interesting. These aren't just small companies. These are all big players inside the CNFT space and the Cardano ecosystem in general, not just you know, the NFT world. Because Muesli Swap, Cardano, Cardax. Sorry, I'm saying all these names wrong. People are probably.
That was a very sincere sorry.
Well, dude, you get people who are like, you didn't say that right. Or like, bro, I'm like, all right, my bad, bro. Sorry, I'm all reading. Just, you know, I'm a quick reader.
I'm sorry.
I thought this was. Oh man.
But no, they have some great partnerships. That is something that is also like, that's why I've been keeping our eye on this whole time, because we've been seeing that from the beginning. But with the Yummi information, it's just like, I really need to probably get in on this early while I can.
I'm invested.
If I want to, you know, if I'm gonna keep my eye on it and then just finally wait until it's too late, where it's like, oh, now I really want to get in, and now of course they're much higher. I should have just got in when I, you know, was watching in the beginning.
Nope. Yeah. So Yummi obviously is anything Yummi. I'm in. You got me sold already. So
exactly.
But I already was looking at this outside of that. 75.8 is not a bad price for a land sale. It's a little more. I mean, you got to think too, like ADA prices are way down compared to where they were a few months ago. So it makes more sense to go ahead and increase that a little bit. So not a problem for me. I definitely just need to go ahead and zip and flip my way around this next week. My wallet doesn't get a break. Over here, Yummi. Speaking of Yummi, over here in a big chunk over here, we got a nice little quick little teaser update from our Yummi fam over here with the different spring Narus, which of course now my thing's not playing. There they go. Spring's coming right now, and our seasonal update is finally coming back. We've had the swoopy Narus, we've had the winter Narus, now we have the spring Narus. And they have a bunch of different ones over here. It definitely has like, you have like some like tennis, you have some baseball in there. You got a little dinosaur, you got like flowers, like a little Valentine's theme. So there's all different kinds of things for spring themed for these guys. And the burn's coming back, our Yummi burn thing, which I actually think I posted over there to them off the 335ers account, just because we had
there it is.
Yeah, Tom's
let's make a new one now for the spring ones.
Yeah, we'll have to get that going. But basically, I love it too, because they were just like, get you ready to burn your seasonal Naru. And it's like, And before you too much supply, they like write it out like the little SpongeBob
SpongeBob one.
Yeah. It said you need to burn an existing seasonal Naru, aka your Swoopy or your winter Naru. You have to burn that in order to mint. So your supply will always stay at 10,000 seasonal Narus while reducing the supply of each existing season. So
I love
most likely
that. That's so fucking funny.
I know. Yes, before they roast them. Yummi is not, every time you see a release from them, they're not adding to this. So what essentially, if anybody isn't up to date on Yummi Universe and how the seasonal Narus work, is you have the 10K collection, which is going to be the main, their main base collection, kind of like how Claymates has their Clay Nation. There's like the main focus is the 10K Narus. Those 10K Narus are going to be able to be staked later this year, and those are going to earn you the Yummi coin, and they're going to earn a substantial amount more Yummi than the seasonal Narus. So the seasonal Narus were another mint that were 1-to-1 to the 10K. So there's 10,000 seasonal as well as 10K, obviously, of the main collection. Out of these, you've had the spoopy ones that dropped, and then the winter ones dropped. And so you were able to, unique feature, instead of adding and diluting the pool for all these things, they were able to actually utilize a burn. They call it. We had the burn. So basically they got moved into another wallet. You turned in, for every 10K Naru you had, you could burn one seasonal, and you put 25 ADA in, you get back the new winter Naru. So for this case, assuming it's the same, if I have one 10K Naru and one seasonal, I can go ahead and burn that seasonal and give 25 ADA, get back what do you call it? The spring guys. If I have 5 10K Narus and 5 guys, I can burn those and get 5 new ones. If I own one 10K Naru and 10 seasonals, I can still only do one, because I only go one with the 10K guy. So that's going to be the way this is mint. So you can only mint or burn as many 10Ks or as many as 10K that you hold. Remember TJ when we were doing that video? Because I think I was just like struggling to explain it. I know exactly how it goes right there. But TJ is like sitting there and just like math is going on.
It does get a little like convoluted. It's a lot to like take in to figure out, especially because there was like, we were looking at the vote then too. So they had the 2 different ways of how they were doing it. I mean, even, the Discord was confused enough. So
blue jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit,
Yeah. The main thing of these right now is if you are looking to get a spring Naru, you need to hold at least one 10K Naru right there. I know. And so, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. One 10K Naru, turn in one seasonal existing plus 25 ADA, you'll get back a new spring. Do that same math for as many 10K Narus as you get. But spring is coming, and they're, the guys are, they're based out of the UK. So everybody's saying the springtime in the UK right now is March 20th. So we were in the Discord, they're kind of teasing that date right now. So be on the lookout for around March 20th of this month here for these spring Narus to start to come out. So stock up right now, or don't stock up, because I know I've been doing that on your seasonal and your spoopies. I'm trying to get the seasonal whale roll, dude. I'm 5 away. I got 20 of these things. I'm waiting to see. So I'll definitely be burning though. I'll definitely be getting rid of some guys. So RIP to those guys.
Shout out to F's in the comments.
F's in the chat
for the spoopies.
Shout out to our guys.
Pepe in the chat.
New mint that's coming up here that we wanted to talk about was actually, I think I just closed out their Twitter, so screw me on that.
They've been around for a little bit. We've just been waiting kind of on when this is actually going to drop, right?
Yeah, this has been a while one here. I know back in the day, this is like way back in the day, it was Knfty World. These are, those like yarn style creatures. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go back and give them a quick little Twitter
Knfty
thing.
World.
So, yeah, Knfty World, Nifty Creatures. So it's a tiny planet called Knfty World where 8,800 of these creatures roam. So they're launching on Saturday, March 5th as well. It's going to be another mint that's coming up here. And Knfty World is going to be minting over at 2345 UTC, which is what over here. That's 6:45 p.m. over on our side on Eastern.
Yeah. I do have to comment and say I'm really loving these weekend drops. I appreciate these projects in the weekend.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. I'm a big fan of the weekend drops because at least gives me a shot to go ahead and load data list if I need to, right? But these things, I feel like they've gotten cleaner, even like better looking since the first time I got a chance to see them, because we all saw the blue, the one in the profile pic here. That was like the first like iteration. Maybe I just didn't look into it as much as I should have on this stuff, but the artwork on this stuff definitely gives me like a mix between like a like a clay with a voodoo brigada.
Brigada,
like,
yep.
Those voodoos, that's what they reminded me of too. Just like obviously not the texture and the and you know the art style completely, but just the like the almost 3D model to it, and just kind of like the coloring and the quality. The quality is what really reminds me of the voodoos and the clays. Like you can just tell that they're you can just tell that they're like high resolution.
Oh, absolutely. Like some of this stuff looks really, they did really good job as far as
I like the yarn idea too. It's something, you know, it's a different take on that. It's kind of clever. I really like the yarn.
Well, yeah, this reminds me obviously right there with that button eye right there. You got a big voodoo brigada vibe to that one. But basically these are you know, everybody's got their own little story. I guess these nifty creatures were household pets regarded as very loyal. However, the humans of Knfty World believe them otherwise were being, I don't know, what does it say? Otherwise and in fear of being ruled by nifty creatures. So I don't know. They got a good little backstory. Everybody's usually it's like the apocalypse, right? Of somebody, the world's ending, and these are the last like of these creatures. So there seems to be a little bit different on this.
Well, I like when the projects put the lore on that. I think it looks cool.
Well, I like that as well. It's better that it's not like the world's ending and these are the last surviving ones of these things. That's usually the mantra for this kind of thing. So it's cool to see that these guys are doing something a little different. But yeah, they have escaped and found an empty world void of humans and filled with the empty houses stacked full of items. So there's always like that underlying theme to these guys. So that's, I guess, the lore behind these. These guys have, I guess, the utility behind these things are going to have full access to all the offerings of Knfty World currently and in the future, meaning a nifty creature will provide you rebates for just holding it in your wallet. Along with rebates, you'll be able to provide airdrops and access to future launches. Well, we don't stop there. They offer in phase 2, such as the DAO, play to earn game, and staking option. Obviously, do your research on these kind of things right here, because obviously these days, DAO, play to earn, staking, very big buzzwords inside the community. So definitely make sure, you know, like to go ahead and do research on this stuff. I know, you know, everybody can kind of say these things now. So hopefully, you know, these guys have taken the time, at least from what I've seen in the last few months, to go ahead and actually make sure that they're delivering a quality product. So I think if they're saying that stuff, hopefully they're going to be doing it the right way. So that's one thing I can say about that.
If anything, I mean, they seem like they've had the presence and been around long enough to kind of build some hype. I mean, I'll at least be looking at them, if anything, just to flip, you know, to grab one early if I can in the actual mint. And, you know, even, you know, as long as you don't lose your money, I'll be happy. So if that is your goal in the end. And so far we've done a decent job, I think, ourselves with the projects we choose personally to even just for a flip, you know, purpose that always ends up kind of working out. So I'll definitely have my eye on them when this mint comes up in a couple of days.
Cool thing. I mean, kind of going through the air, you know, they give you the portal of, you know, the roadmap of where they're going. I like the little interactability about this as well. So one of the things is interesting is this rebates portal, where initially airdropping ADA to all holders and having a custom portal on your own website for you to view and claim rewards. So that's interesting, cool. Right there. You're actually able to get something out of that. Airdropping special NFTs to all holders with a percentage twist to it. So there'd be a percentage attached to the token airdropped to be played in the slot machine game. They're going to then move over to a DAO token, coin and staking, where you can earn passive income from staking your NFT. And then eventually one of the most exciting steps is to provide a play to earn game, many different mini games within the Knfty World. So they definitely have you know, they're fleshing out their roadmap. Yeah. But it's dope. Yeah, you know, March 5th is they have a pre-sale whitelist that's going to be on March 5th from 1700 to 2300 UTC. The public sale starts at 2300 and 45 UCT, 645. Sorry,
645.
Yep. And then cost on this stuff as well, which we had talked about here, is 60 ADA, if it'll let me hold. So 45 if you're whitelisted, 60 ADA for public mint. And then how many can you mint? You can mint one whitelist per transaction. Public sale, you can mint up to 3 NFTs maximum per wallet. So go ahead and check these guys out. I know I'm going to be looking at these guys. I just like the art. It reminds me also, remember what was the Yoshi game where it was like the yarn Yoshi? I forget the name of it. It kind of gives me that little vibe too. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
Yoshi yarn?
Paper Mario?
It was like a Yoshi game, but it was wrapped in like, it was like built out of yarn, the whole game. Like,
is this a dream you had?
No, dude, it's a literal game.
Woolly World.
Is it Woolly World?
Yeah.
You're looking it up? Yeah.
Let's Google it.
Yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World.
I've never played or heard of that game.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yoshi's Woolly World. But yeah, basically they like made Yoshi into like wool. Right?
Must have been in like an
wool.
issue of Nintendo Power I used to read back in the day.
They said his teeth were made of wool.
Oh, I mixed up my D's and L's.
They gotta get a little like lime and tuna fish. Wasn't that your name too, Tom?
That was a gamer tag.
Aren't you Glavis lamb and tuna fish?
I was lamb and tuna fish after that. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Actually, I forgot about that. Well, lime and tuna fish. Knfty World's like, God damn it, guys.
I can't believe that. So that's coming out the 5th of March or the 5th. Yeah, I can't believe we're already almost, March 5th, a couple days away. Today's the 2nd. Like, I keep thinking like, oh, we got the New Year's coming up first, and then January and February to get through, and then March coming around. We got a couple months till then. It's like, no, it's a couple days from now. We're well, March is kicked off. We're started.
We're not doing that, right?
In fact, we're in a after hours recording right now. It's already March 2nd. We started on March 1st.
We spend days out here on the podcast, right? We're across here. So, hey, we've gotten some feedback though from some people. We'd rather, they'd rather us dive deep into stuff instead of just, pass over real quick,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Speaking of,
concerned about that, like, man, these are getting a little long. Like, I don't know if people are gonna like that. I'm like, no, yeah, sure, bring it on. So it's always good to hear.
It's a good thing we don't race through them, but one thing we do want to talk about in racing is NFT, is Equine NFT, right? Look at that transition right there. Equine NFT, which we haven't talked about in a while, but is built, being built, the horse racing game on the Cardano blockchain, similar to like, was it Zedrun over on the Ethereum blockchain? These guys are being built with one of the biggest teams in the community and being like, spearheaded kind of from the community standpoint with Fudbuddies over there. And they got a big team behind them. I think CardanoPapi mentioned, was it FenceMaker was part of that team as well, which is a big dev for them over on the Benjamin's group. But yeah, so they went ahead, it has been very quiet on the news ever since, like that December drop. They had dropped, an unlimited mint, which was very brave, I'd say, inside the space nowadays to go ahead and just let it out to the public. But they also did it at 250 ADA. So, those flippers that were jumping in and out right away didn't get a chance just to kind of like over mint it and just saturate it too much. And I think they totaled a little over 14,000, like 14,100 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so these, they finally have given us a little bit of an update as far as what the game itself is. We saw the renders, like the API, the horses looked really nice. And it's like, what do they got? How are they actually going to look in a game? Because you see those online horsing racing games and they're just like polygon, like horses or, just like, nothing crazy detailed at all. But the rendering for this that they actually dropped for in-game, for the jockey, for the horse, and the blinders and different things on with a little background of the cityscape, that looks good.
It looks really good. It looks really good. Yeah, that thing's ready to run.
Dude, look at those muscles. That's
the floor is 400 too.
No, they've been taking off. They've been doing great.
Well, speaking of the floor on that story now, there's also another factor that goes into that is that our favorite DAO is the Rats DAO is eyeing these guys now too. So that's where they got a proposal now that they got a discussion inside the chat room, which I may have chimed into a little bit too. But yeah, these, this right here, if they can actually execute this, in game, these kind of graphics, it's going to change the level. First off, for that horse racing like genre, it's very popular. And I see like YouTubers and stuff like how to maximize your gains doing horse races all day. There's definitely a market for it. And, if they do it right and become the game to want to play, and bring people to Cardano because the game is just better than where the other ones are. I mean, that's going to be a huge win for anybody who holds these equines right now.
I'm pumped to bet on the races.
Dude, well, so I'm pumped to like let my horse like jump in there and see how he does, right?
Well, I mean, if I had your horse too, I would do it too.
Bro, you didn't mint on the launch day, did you?
I did. I got one. I don't have a freaking, what do you have?
I just like seeing that, like, between PAVIA and Equine, two of the biggest projects as far as like the volume of how many NFTs actually exist out there, which you would almost say like they oversaturated their own market, and they still hold such strong floors I mean, Equine was a little bit more expensive as the actual mint price was 250 to mint, but just the horse is 400 now, not including. I mean, they don't sell as much the jockey and the skin, but still, just that you're making a profit on. And then, of course, Pavia has had much lower mint prices. It's changed across the ones, but just seeing how many actual NFTs they hold and their floor is able to stay so high, it's just impressive. It just shows that, you know, it's not always necessarily about like you know making it a limited mint if you actually can show some real utility and you know for the future of the project.
Well, I think like this gives like good confidence obviously inside the project. The fact that this horse racing game, like this is like, if you want to talk about an ambitious game, what these guys are trying to do and build out there is something definitely a first inside of the Cardano space. But I think really pushing the boundaries of what can be done outside of just, you know, between all chains. Because again, if this is the place to be for anybody who likes those horse racing games, especially online, like bringing them into the Cardano ecosystem because this game is just better than the other ones is going to be huge in general. So the people who are holding the, you know, I can see the value of these things continuing to rise. I always say that Equine's not a flip at all. And even right now, it might be tempting now. Hey, I got 2 of these things. I bought them for 500 ADA total for everything, and I can sell one of them. You just won my, you know, one of my lesser horses for 400. I'm not doing that at all, just because I know my Genesis horse is the Pioneer horses they call them are going to be so valuable down the line, because in order to get a new horse going forward, you're going to have to breed and you know purchase a new horse going forward if you want to have another one with the different stats. These ones, you know, after 18 months, because they have an 18-year life cycle with 1 month being their life. After that 18 months, you could have that token. And for 20 ADA, you're able to buy back in with that, you know, forever to continue to keep, it'll re-roll that thing. So even if you have a bad stat horse now, dude, you could re-roll and have one of the best ones in the game. And you got that chance and that luck. So that right there is valuable alone. I think that's why Ratstyle is really looking at them too, is if you buy in bulk like a stable, you know, at the end of it, you may not buy to have the best horses, but re-roll comes around, dude, you could get some of the best ones out in the game. So I think that's always a cool idea.
Re-roll it. I'm hoping to re-roll to get a faster one.
Our what is it? We call it the euthanasia. The horse.
Yeah, can I put mine down right now? Re-roll it. See.
Gotta take it out to pasture.
Just bring it to my virtual pasture and just like, hey, buddy, you did well. Now we're kind of bring you back to life. Get a new one.
I was just looking at the skins of the jockeys. There are both of them actually. The alien skin, the lowest one's only 45. I thought that was really cheap for an alien skin.
Well, yeah. Here's my thought on the skins, by the way, on this, because I've seen people like, you know, let's get a proposal out to go ahead and buy up all the skins in there. I'm like, dude, skins are cosmetic. This does nothing for you.
Oh yeah,
right. Like, so it's all about the visual. But for me, like, I feel like, because I hold the 58 ranked like top stat horse right now. So like to me, that's
little flex, right? Little flex.
Well, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna flex on that. Like I got it. That was a fun mint. Like I was just happy to get that. But part of me is like, do I want to put like the alien skin on my horse or you know whatever skin I decided to put on there, unless it's one of the super rare ones? Do I really want to put on that to make it look like everybody else, or do I want my 58 ranked horse to look like how she looks and just fucking dominate the field over all those people are like aliens or whatever they want to do?
It's all fast as alien.
But it's either you do one of two things. You're there to either win, or you're there to just flex on everybody, or do both. So for me, the skins are not nearly as important as like owning one of those horses. So if I had to prioritize ADA payments for me, I'm going with the horses right now. But skins, if that's your thing too, do your thing. Get those gold skins and just flex on everybody. Your horse may come in dead last, but at least you look good. You know.
You know, I got the top 58th horse out of 14,000. No biggie.
Isn't that crazy? That's still like one of the wildest things to me. I've had a couple, like, you know, when you always think about like those rare mints that you get.
You're like, I never get a rare one.
What was the other one I got? I had a Maston buttons when we did the Maston buttons back in the day. The War Hunt, I got the like 40th ranked one out of that. And unfortunately,
you got the 600th like clay.
207. Clay.
Whatever. See, as I'm saying. I don't
600 Mandrillz.
I got the 69th swoopy, and then they burned them, and now it's like 5,000 or some shit.
That's fucked up. Yeah, I'll have to talk to David about that. Like, David, you know what happened to this one? Tom had the 69. We were like, nice, dude. And it came out really well. And then he just got ruined. What do you like, 8,000 or like 9,000? Something like that. Well, it's funny because
it was rough.
That was one interesting mechanic of that burn, right? It was like when they actually burned that, the rarest traits, like obviously everybody held on to the rarest traits because they wanted them, but by people holding on to all the rarest ones, those became the majority versus this, you know, the traits nobody liked. So they like flip-flopped. Yeah. So now, like, if you try to play like the big brain move, because like the stuff that does have more rarity rankings, or the higher the rarity rank, the more Yummi you earn for that stuff. So it's almost like they're like, yo, if you buy like the ones that people are gonna want to burn, because those are going to become more and more rare, like as time goes on. So it's like you got to reverse logic that stuff. But don't listen to me, because don't do that.
Because I've already been doing that.
I might have been doing that. One thing really big, actually not one thing, but big thing I wanted to really shout out over here this past week was Fettuccine, who jumped onto the stream with us back in the day. We did a sit down for the Angel Baby Hit Squad, and that was a dope concept itself. And Angel Babies have now had, they're on the Ethereum side, and they offer airdrops inside of Cardano with some of the best artists inside the space. But the counterpart to this was always the Angel Babies are a 1-to-1 token to the Demon Baby Hit Squad. Well, if they've got a new announcement over here that, they got this little B, they got chopped off over here. So instead of being the Demon Baby Hit Squad, they are now the Demon Hit Squad. They're rebranding a little bit. And the logo and some of the artwork for this stuff, dude, bro, I'm excited for this right here. This looks sick to me. I don't even know what to even.
I was not surprising it or expecting it at all. It's a big surprise. Like, I just figured they were going to have some sort of demon take on the exact same thing as the Angel Baby, just kind of a demon side of it. But this was a huge surprise. I was definitely not expecting that. I mean, Fettuccine's always hinting at how many more things he has planned and all the things he has going on in his head as far as like for the future of his projects. But I never expected them to just go like totally different style and model and everything.
Yeah, definitely different. Like, they're super detailed. If you zoom in,
I think these ones will sell really well.
Well, they're going to do really good. And he's been, Fettuccine's been grinding, to get those, they finally hit over 50% sold on the Angel Babies. And big shout out to Fettuccine too. This past week, he was able to get the guys over on NFT Update, the NFT Justin and DZ over from BitBoy's channel, went ahead and, featured the Angel Baby Hit Squad over there. And it kind of helped start driving, that momentum for these guys. So shout out to Fed. He deserves that recognition. He's been working hard. Absolutely. So it's been dope though, because it makes you want to go ahead and mint some more Angel Babies. Even though I'm not a big fan of like minting anything on Ethereum, it's just the gas fees, my wallet. I had a bad experience just getting locked up with my fees, and I think my Angel Babies are locked up in like prison right now. Like, I literally I can't get it, like, unless I want to pay hundreds of dollars, because there's like pending transactions in my wallet that I need to like speed up the gas. So I think
the gas fees now are super cheap, so you might want to try it now.
Maybe at like certain times during the night, maybe I don't know how it's been working, but I do need to go back over there. But basically, my guy's been like basically kidnapped.
Hostage.
He's held hostage right now. But the Demon Baby Hit Squad is now the rebrand over there, and I like it because he always plays like the altar, like like the angel, like the demon, like kind of like the devil on your shoulder. He always plays like the that devil's advocate to the Angel Baby when they tweet at each other. So I always think that's interesting how he does that. And it's a fun little way to like play around with it.
Yeah.
But
he does a good job with it too.
Yeah, he's like, you can throw as much hate at Fettuccine and Angel Baby Hit Squad as you want, but just kidding, go for it. Like, imagine minting an Angel Baby Hit Squad with a clown's face. Like, they're like, he always goes at them in like a fun way. But they're dope. I really like the art. I like, Tom, you always talked about this in the beginning, like how you like the initial artwork for the Angel Baby.
Oh, the logo. I love for the Angel Baby a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the logo. I want one of those hats. He has a hat with the logo on it.
Yeah, dude. Fett, if you're listening, hat is up. Dude,
we get the merch,
we'll rock the shit out of those hats, dude. But these guys are now 53.8% minted for Angel Babies.
It's a huge jump. Pretty quick for them. It's kind of got stagnant. That's a huge jump.
They were like 40-something%, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just did their most recent airdrop over there, which is one of the coolest ones I've seen so far from Glues. This 3D like angel, and it's got some sound to it, and it looked really dope. So this is one of the newer ones.
I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, this one was really cool. And I know Glus is like been an OG in this space too, and he does a lot of 3D modeling. So it was cool to see this, like a little take on it, like everybody's take on like the angel. That's why it was dope. These airdrops. Again, Tom, we looked in our wallet the other day and boom, it was just sitting there. So the connection.
I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, at all. I think we were checking for something else. And the next thing I was like, Tommy, did you get an Angel Baby Hit Squad drop. I didn't even notice that came in.
Right. And I just all of a sudden looked at it because I'm so hard to keep up on everything right now. But you know, it's amazing right now that out of 5,900, almost 6,000 of these things right now, only 55 of them are listed. So that's such a really cool, interesting. And 16 are 1+ ETH. So looks like everybody's holding on to these things.
Wait,
right
I'm
now.
sorry, only 55 Angel Babies are listed. That's crazy.
On OpenSea.
That's super low volume. Wow, that's amazing.
So, and I think because that's the main part of all this, right? Like most people in this space minted an Angel Baby Hit Squad on Ethereum because they wanted the airdrops. They wanted the 1-to-1 to the Demon Baby Hit Squad, which is now Demon Hit Squad. They wanted that connectivity to be able to do that. And so it's dope because I'm holding on to that because even if Angel Babies were going up to like a pretty decent price, the fact that I'm getting an airdrop from Clay, from Yummi, from Space Buds, from everybody who's already been out over here, it's been dope to see all the different takes on those Angel Babies too. So I just wanted to shout out Fett for that, and the Demon Baby Hit Squad, our Demon Hit Squad now. Sorry, I gotta drop the B over there. I just really like this artwork, man. This like jumps out at me. Like it's unique in that sense.
It's very different, yeah, for what they were doing too.
Well, shout out to Fett and the team, man. I always love what they got going on.
Keeping us excited for sure. It keeps on giving those Angel Babies so far. They just, it's cool how much just keeps coming out.
Well, another thing too, which just wanted to make a quick mention of, is Freeroam.io. The marketplace that's being built over by the Ghostchain CNFT team as well. These guys have a beta test happening, which I don't know. So they haven't announced it. Actually, that's actually crazy. I didn't even see that. So we're actually featured on their page. That's actually dope. That's cool to see right there. They retweeted our video with J Crypto over there.
Oh, that's cool.
One of the things I wanted to shout these guys out for was inside the Ghostchain announcements, inside the thing, the guy Alexander over there tomorrow, which is technically, we're on Friday right now, on Wednesday, 2 days ago. The Freeroam Beta opened up, and inside that Freeroam Beta, you're going to be able to switch over to the test net on side of your NAMI or your CC vault. So if you don't know how to do that, they give you a little tutorial, but basically you can jump from the main net to the test net, and they're going to give you 1,000 test net ADA to go ahead and play around with. And with that 1,000 test net ADA, you're going to be able to mint some free roam ghosts for 10 test net ADA to this address. So you can only mint one or two of these depending on the transaction. So they're not worth real ADA, but it's kind of cool to be able to utilize his Freeroam's marketplace in the beta launch for it.
I like that.
And do that. So yeah, if you have like a NAMI wallet, you can go to the settings and swap from the main net to the test net, and then you'll be able to do this free ghost right there, which is kind of dope. And then, so curious right here. So how this is going to work.
Freeroam, exciting for sure. I mean, it's kind of like, if this could take off, these little test net ghosts will be like, part of like the early history if this becomes the place to be, the marketplace to sell them.
I wonder if you'll be able to keep it, right? Unless, so I guess if you swap your wallet over to the test net, you'll be able to see them. I don't know how that works, but I'm curious.
Are they going to send out mainnet ADA too?
Yeah. Let me get some of that mainnet ADA.
Let me get some of that mainnet ADA.
Yo, give me that. Yo, guys.
You guys got some free roam coupons, maybe?
I just love free roam. I think they're running like a, what do you call it? Like an update in the background to all this stuff. But I really like these guys because the dude, remember we showed off the dashboard with J Crypto where it would just read your wallet, whatever one was connected to.
That's one of my favorite features by far, is the dashboard.
Yeah. I was just laughing because like, that's my wallet.
Dude, I forgot. I didn't even know I had my wallet connected to it. And I was like, oh, dope, dude. Like, damn, I got 30,000 ADA worth of stuff in there. What do I got in there? I don't want that right now. But then the other part of me is like, hell no, I'm not selling some of that stuff. So, but I like what Ghostchain's doing too, because these guys, they obviously are a dope community. Diamond Hand group over there of those guys as well. Floor's been sitting nice and healthy. I think at like 750 plus ADA, somewhere around that range for a while. And you get discounts. That's what the one thing is, you're going to get percentage of net profits from freeroam.io. So if it's successful, the Ghostchain is going to be able to pay you out ADA based on their profits. And
there's our coupons.
Yeah, there's your coupons.
That's right.
And depending on the rarity of your Ghostchain, if it's a legendary or it's a rare or a common, whatever it is, you're going to get certain discounted tiers also for holding certain Ghostchains. Like the highest tier was, so if I hold like a legendary, I get like whatever the discount there are for legendaries. So that's going to be interesting too. I think once this comes online, if they become successful, the Ghostchain brand itself is going to do very, very well. And I'm excited too, because with these guys, we've been, chatting with them for a while. They kind of found us originally. And they were always a good time to go back inside of there. So
they have so much personality too with their ghosts and stuff. Like they have such a fun community because they get to show off and share so much. Like that snow globe one on their front page, that thing looks so awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Slick again.
Slick, yeah, and just all those guys inside the community over there. So they're all fun. I just had to shout out Freeroam. So hopefully I'll be able to mess around with the testnet stuff, and we'll see how that goes when that does launch. So it's weird because it's already going to happen, but haven't happened yet.
Yeah, you're blowing my mind with that.
Or like Inceptions, right? One of the last things we're wrapping it up towards the back end out this way on some topics is our favorite, our DripDropz, our drip over there, which we use from the Dave Chappelle, that thing. What was that from R. Kelly's piano?
R. Kelly, yeah.
But DripDropz, I know this was a huge thing for SundaeSwap. They're the Sunday tokens. You're actually now, if you were staking with one of the stake pools that were part of the ISO for SundaeSwap, you can finally now redeem your Sunday tokens by going to DripDropz.io, entering in your wallet address and checking your drops, and it'll tell you if you're eligible to get anything. What?
Jake Paul, your address.
Oh, down there?
Just threw me off.
I don't know who that is. Nobody needs to know that. Well, so this was actually a huge announcement too. If you think about it, like SundaeSwap, what they're launching right now, and they're utilizing DripDropz to be the redemption for their tokens. I thought that was actually really interesting. So if you were staking with one of those ISOs, which was a huge whole separate topic inside the community about not really being decentralized, it forced everybody to go, if they wanted the Sunday token, they all had to go to stake pools that were part of that ISO, and then they left all the smaller stake pools, which essentially screwed them over a little bit. So I know they did SundaeSwap did a reverse ISO, and they started spreading it out to other smaller pools to be able to still go ahead and claim that stuff. But yeah, that was something that people had to talk about with these guys. But I'm over here, I was staked with one of those stake pools too, because I was like everybody else in the time. I didn't know I wanted to get some Sunday as well. So I think after all the ADA and stuff that I had, I was only able to get like 10 Sunday tokens. So realistically, I don't think it was worth it at all. But you can go ahead and claim your stuff if you were staked to it right now inside of DripDropz, which again, shout out to DripDropz for
coming through all the time. I mean, everyone's using them now. It's just become the standard, like to utilize for that.
Yeah, and all tokens, right? Like I know we did that. We talked about the unsigned algorithms, where if you read your wallet and it would give you, you were able to redeem the token if you had that. Same kind of deal here, where it was able to read your wallet. So
obviously, you heard about that on Taco Tuesday, Tommy?
I heard about it on Real Talk.
But you came in right after. You got like super excited about it. You thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Well, I originally was like, yo, we should do a token
for us to use in the future. Yeah, like there's just so much application for it. It's such a cool, and they've had such a cool platform they put in there.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, I don't know, I know the next 3 to 4 days, these guys, so hopefully, Friday, before the Epic ends, you got 4 days, so we got, you'll be able to redeem this even when this video comes out. So if you had forgot about it or wherever you were at, make sure you go ahead and redeem those awards before you go out there. Other than that, drip. That's I love DripDropz. They're dope. They're a dope little concept for what they're doing. They're changing the game for Cardano too. So, boys, another freedom after dark here.
Freedom after way dark.
Yeah, we're killing it here. It's almost 1 a.m. It's getting late out here. We wrapping it up.
I drank the full coffee.
Dude, for sure. Well, we always talk about that. Even like just three of us, I feel like, what are we going to talk about this week? What are we going to do? And then all of a sudden we got a 3-hour conversation going on. It's like, oh shit. All right.
We've done it like every night of the past weeks now. We get on like at 9:30. It's like, I'll just get on, say hi with them and send them something real fast. And then I look over, it's like 12:40. I'm like,
it's like, holy shit, the day's going by quick. But
I can't even imagine doing an hour long show now.
I would feel cramped for time, like for sure.
Oh, we have to cut so much. Yeah, no, it just wouldn't even there'd be some things that wouldn't be worth covering because of how fast we have to go through it. It just
No.
wouldn't even be fun. Like Knfty World, mint's on Saturday. Have fun. Bye.
We have to talk
All
like
right,
an
next one.
auctioneer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, get your Beavis, go get your Chonkanaroo. We'll see you guys in the
I have to
metaverse.
put the whole video on like
Peace.
times. Yeah, it just wouldn't
Yeah.
work. Yeah, just way too fast.
Yeah, not at all. God, can you imagine if we would have covered the space paper and the guys were just like, yo, you just read through the paper and then that was it? Like, what the hell is that? No, we're going to break that down for you.
90 seconds.
Yeah, in and out. Quick rapid fire review. But no, dude, it's been good to get through some of these topics, and it's nice talking about some new stuff. I think that's like kind of like our theme that we've been doing, right? It's like being a podcast, you update like on the news that we see throughout the week, and there's a million different projects that, you know, the more and more we do this, we start to like broaden our categories of different things we've talked about. So there's no way in hell we're going to be able to ever give you an update on every single one of those. So as they start to get, you know, substantial ones throughout the week that like are notable to us, that's kind of how we've been approaching it.
Well, and even I want to say shout out to our community too in Discord, because they brought light to a couple of projects to us that we've done some research on that we actually talked about tonight. So that's been pretty helpful so far the past 2 weeks with them showing up stuff.
Shout out to Shiny. Shout out to Werz over there.
True.
Yeah, E46.
E46,
True.
yeah, for sure. True. Yeah,
True.
yeah.
I think True and
CNFT
Shiny are
yeah.
two, you know, across the pond.
They're the
all way
OGs.
down under. Yeah.
They're the OGs as well, though. So yeah, we have a new community. That community building in there is really fun, and we appreciate everybody who hangs out in Discord with us. Drop some, you know, the good mornings, and then just chilling, man. We get to talk CNFTs in there. It's fun. We get to talk about as mints go. It's fun to bounce off of each other and just even check in, say hi, and see what's going on inside the community. So shout out to everybody in the Discord. We're looking to hopefully continue to grow that. I think one of the things I know we wanted to talk about doing is like a game night, especially and trying to interact with these guys is more.
Yeah,
we've had requests of like an AMA style thing for anybody new getting into CNFTs. I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe we can work on setting that up. And if you guys have any other suggestions, man, always go down into our channel. We have the ideas and feedback channel in there. Shoot some stuff in there, man. Or ask us. We got an AMA section. Ask us anything that you want to know, dude. What's your favorite color, dude? Just go down there and drop it. I'll tell you, I'm green. Lady Elf, what's your favorite color? I think I use that in that. But dude, yeah, wrapping it up. I'm tired as fuck, man.
Yeah, no, we got another good one in the books, and I'm got some more mints and exciting stuff for the next week to the next one too. So we'll have another packed in episode next week.
Yeah, Saturday's about to be lit over here. So
yeah, special guest next week too. That's right.
Oh yeah, surprise special guest.
Teasing them. No, we got a lot of different things. Yo, TJ just drip.
I did it so many times when you said it tonight.
I know, Tom. I hope you edited some of those things back.
I'll sneak some of those in there.
Yeah, if there's time.
What if, guys. Tom, if you did, you know.
Anyway. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody listening in. It's been fun, man. And again, we love doing these podcasts, man. It's been fun just doing the chat about everybody. Time. Everything going on inside the space, man. And you know what? We will catch you guys on the next Freedom 35, baby.
Freedom 35, baby.